This is S4 with your host, Eric Cooper.
Greetings, folks, and welcome to S4, where we talk about the real issues involving paranormal and current events. Coming to you live from the S4 headquarters in the heart of the Cascade Mountains of Washington State. We also cover topics such as disaster and terrorist response, preparation, and veterans issues. So tonight, it's the 5th of April already. Hard to believe, it's still 2020. And tonight, we're talking global conspiracy. What would it take to bring the planet to its knees, and why? What's the end goal? We'll be looking at specific humans' needs in some of the areas that have been dictated and affected by governments, and why, if a government is supposed to be there to help the population, why would they do this? And again, what's the end game? So we're talking FEMA camps, fusion centers, and yes, we will be talking about the virus a little bit in weird terms. And tonight, it's just going to be Kayla, Cole, myself, and Joe Allgeier, the master of pointy sticks, our geologist in California, and a fellow cavalryman. Well, contractor. Cavalryman. All right. How you doing tonight, Joe?
Private contractor.
Yep. You're still
doing
part of the
fine.
Cavalry. You're still part of the cavalry.
On this show, we don't talk about our privates.
Exactly. That too. So, I'm still catching my breath because I came into the studio hot tonight, and something I want to talk about is your kids. So my kids had a meltdown today because they've been stuck in the house since, February?
Yep.
It's been end of February, early part of March. Everyone's kids have been locked in the house. If they were if they were actually isolating, they were stuck in the house. If they haven't been stuck in the house, then shame on you, because that means you're probably just going about your day-to-day life like there's nothing going on. And then you wonder why you got sick. Imagine that. But my kids had a meltdown. So we did a compromise, and we went to the drive-thru at Pizza, we went to the drive-thru at Burger King, and then we went back to the mountains to O'Toole Creek and took our favorite drive down South Skagit Highway, which is always still very calming, and had a picnic. Nobody around. Real simple, real easy, and away from people. So, that's what we did. And yes, we didn't leave till about, 4:30, because that's when they had their meltdown. So yeah, I came flying into the studio here and probably about half panicked Cole.
No.
We're
good.
Okay, we're good. So, we're going to talk about FEMA camps. You know, I've studied FEMA camps since about the 90s when I first started hearing about them. And what's your thoughts on FEMA camps, Joe?
Well, I've heard the horrible conspiracy theories. I've heard what they're supposed to be for. Okay, if there's a problem, if there's an emergency, everyone has a place to live. But then again, there's people saying that they're death camps and they're going to round us all up, all the ne'er-do-wells. People like Eric, they'll put them in these camps and torture them and make them disappear.
Good luck with that. But and I think that's something I hate about it. The more you dig into conspiracies, the more you see through the bullshit. Honestly. Hey, Tim, we got to give you a shout out because you are one of our faithful listeners that is here every week without fail.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Tim.
Shoot me your address on private message later, and I will send you an S4 bumper sticker, as a matter of fact.
Rock on.
So, Jesse Ventura, great comment, Tim. I watched his FEMA Camp episode last night, as a matter of fact, getting ready for the show. They're not FEMA camps anymore. They're called residential... Oh, God. Now I'm at a loss. Residential detention centers. There we go. And they are throughout the United States. And if you look at it close, I know you've looked at this, Kayla, FEMA has the United States broke down into 10 districts. Kind of reminds me of Hunger Games, but yes.
May the odds be ever in your favor.
Wait a minute. They changed the name from a FEMA camp to a...
It's a residential detention center.
Detention?
Yes.
Well, if they're calling it detention, they're planning on locking up somebody.
Well, let me go
it's right
back
there in
to
the
my
name.
notes real quick. It might not be detention. It's a residential...
San Quentin's a residential detention center.
I'm trying to remember what it's called. Just residential centers.
Residential encampments.
And here's what's funny. I despise Halliburton with a damn passion. I dealt with Halliburton in Iraq. You see Halliburton got their little mitts in every government contract that's classified as a conspiracy. In the same conspiracy theory episode that we all watched with Jesse Ventura, and I don't like Alex Jones. Alex Jones, I think, is too far out there. Are you an Alex Jones fan, Joe?
I think he's got some interesting things he comes up with, and then he's also got a bunch of fluff and bluster that just gets people to listen.
Well, here's the thing. He was great, years ago.
Yeah.
And then he got his head shoved up the right's ass, and, now he just kind of goes off on a tangent. And everything is now political. Everything is now directed towards one side, not the other. It used to be conspiracy theories were conspiracy theories. They weren't politically biased. You know what I mean?
Maybe he figured out just the left has conspiracy theories.
Oh, maybe. And, I'm sorry, but Bush isn't the left, and Bush had more conspiracy theories on him than anybody.
Well,
no
okay.
kidding. And by the way, if Halliburton's got their fingers in everything, I'm safe from the FEMA camps, because when I was working on the drilling rigs, I traded a guy a pair of coveralls, and I've got a pair of the red Halliburton overalls, and I'll be able to blend right in.
Oh, perfect.
There's no way they're getting me.
You can sneak up behind him with your Halliburton coveralls and stab him with a pointy stick.
Right.
So here's the thing. Swift Luck Greens.
Huh?
Have you heard of that? Swift Luck Greens?
Say it again?
Swift Luck Greens.
Oh, man.
No.
Okay, so it was a supposed FEMA concentration camp.
Okay.
And that's the way it was listed on this extremist website.
Imagine that.
In Wyoming. It was one of the first ones that they discovered. Here's the
That's
thing.
why Wyoming's not on lockdown.
Oh, in Wyoming, that's right. It was targeting towards militia. Now, the thing with that, the very picture that they were taking, that they were showing as a FEMA camp is actually a North Korean death camp.
Yes, and it's also still there.
Yeah.
If you go on Google Maps, you can actually see that camp.
But it's a North Korean prison
It's also
camp.
still quite lively.
And that's why I don't like most conspiracies or conspiracy theories. Because most of them, they just grab the first little nugget they find. They don't explore it. They don't research it. They run with it and tell everybody.
Well, but that's the thing. So the photo
That's just like CBS. They put on a picture of a emergency room being overwhelmed with the COVID patients, and it turned out it was from Italy, but they said it was New York.
Right.
So CBS is right up there.
Well,
the image that they put online of the FEMA camp. So the Homeland Security.
Yeah, they changed all the names.
Well, no, but the Homeland Security logo actually covers the location, geographical location. The Swift Luck Greens name is actually an anagram for left-wing suckers.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Okay.
That's my issue with this whole FEMA camp thing, is everything that we're seeing out of all the media that comes out of it from conspiracy theorists. They can't just stick to the facts. They're creating items.
Oh, yeah. Just like, when I started digging into Jade Helm, which we'll talk about Jade Helm later on in the show. The thing I don't agree with Jade Helm is, Jesse Ventura actually brought it up too, being a Navy SEAL. We don't train in civilian sectors. We have National Training Center in California. We have our own training areas just for the military. So why would they go infiltrate civilian populace to have a military training exercise? That part don't make sense to me.
Where'd that go? Camp Grayling.
What's that?
National Guard Training Center. You ever heard of it?
No. Oh, is that the one in Texas?
No, it's in central Michigan. It is the largest National Guard training center in the U.S.
Okay.
Active and reserve components of the Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force, and Coast Guard all train there. Practicing everything from helicopter gunnery to processing and care for prisoners of war.
Yeah, but and that's why I argue. Because the NTC is just as equipped. Fort Lewis, we have our own urban warfare, guerrilla warfare training areas. I mean, and like Jesse said, wow, there you can actually use live rounds. You can't use live rounds in civilian populace. Well, I suppose you could, but it might, cause a problem.
It'd be entertaining for a little while.
And then you'd see the militia and the nut jobs all jumping up and down saying, "Oh, I can use my gun now. Oh, yeah, you're taking away my gun rights." No, actually, they're not. They're practicing for Afghanistan, supposedly. That's my argument. Supposedly.
Weren't the prisoner of war camps that we had in Iraq pretty much manned by National Guardsmen?
Where
So wouldn't you want to train them?
National Guard. So here's the thing.
They were over
National
there.
Guard was designed for state security. It was designed for state protection, not deployments.
Correct.
We saw more National Guard reserves going to Iraq and Afghanistan than we have ever. I mean,
Exactly.
I served with 81st Brigade, Washington State National Guard in Balad. I was active duty, but we had, the Washington State National Guard in Balad as well. It was like, why are you guys should be on the Washington borders, not here. Why are you in Iraq? I mean, when you have active, National Guard and Reserve that are getting just as many combat tours as active duty, there's a problem. They should be back here filling in the gaps while we're gone. That's how it was designed. So,
I kind of see why they would have some of them out there.
Mm-hmm. Explain.
Since World War II, you guys haven't had the numbers in any military force.
Here's what really pissed me off is, for civilians that don't know much about the military, if you have a patch on your right side that's called a combat patch, you get a combat patch each time you deploy. Anytime you go to combat, you get. So if you go to combat with the same unit like 2 or 3 times, you're probably going to have the same patch. So, for example, I was with the Black Horse in Doha, Kuwait, 91. I got the Black Horse patch. Then I went to Somalia with 514th Ambulance Company under FORSCOM. So I earned the FORSCOM patch. I'm sorry, I don't like the FORSCOM patch. It's a training patch. So I stuck with my Black Horse patch. Then I go to Iraq, 2 tours with the same unit with 29th Signal, which changed to 51st Signal Brigade, 51st Expeditionary Signal Brigade. So I technically got their patch. We also fell under 3rd Armored Cavalry, so I got their patch because we were, how do you explain it? We were authorized their patch because we supported them.
What is Signal Brigade? If you don't mind me asking.
Signal Brigade, so a signal unit is, in fact, we had the largest telephone operations on the battlefield since Vietnam. Actually, I think it was before Vietnam. So what our unit did, we had shelters on the back of Humvees, and it was full of node centers. Basically, we ran telephone lines from one truck to the next. We had a complete telephonic and internet network across the entire country of Iraq. That's what a signal brigade does.
So you've come a long way since 2 Lamps by Sea.
Oh, indeed. But we had tactical satellite as well. So we had huge satellite dishes mounted to the back of 5 tons.
But legitimately, that's where that one would have come from, no?
What's that?
2 Lamps by Sea, 1 lamp by land.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been the signal brigade in the first place, because it wasn't just Paul Revere. It was a connection of many.
Absolutely.
People.
Absolutely. Well, yeah. It's come a long way.
Okay, so basically light the fires.
Yeah, just but there has to be somebody at the switchboard in these trucks.
Yeah.
At all times. So there's always 24. Now, my job as a truck mechanic was to make sure those trucks ran so they could do their job.
That they never stopped.
No.
Yeah.
So the truck's now running. They've got their own power units powering the signal equipment. But if they have to start the truck up to move it for any reason, we're always on call to make sure the truck's rolling. So my job was maintenance and combat medic. Because at that point in time, I was still a combat medic, but it was my secondary MOS. I was a straight combat medic for Desert Storm and Somalia.
Yeah.
So, Joe, you're quiet. Why are you so quiet?
Yeah,
over
I'm
there?
just listening.
Okay.
Well, I just want to throw in that, as part of the Signal Corps, don't you guys do the sign language whenever the general's talking?
No. That's not Signal Corps. That's linguistic. That'd be linguistics. I would think.
Depends
Maybe.
on
It's somebody. I mean, some little general's aides, Yeah.
Or it could be just someone showing up and saying, I can do this.
Right?
That's
now,
happened.
if you want to join the Army, you want to get a huge-ass bonus, linguistics is where you go. And there are schools like, I don't know, a year. It used to be a year or two. Because you go to Monterey, California, and actually learn Arabic or learn whatever language you're pursuing. And there's big bonuses for that one.
Well, okay. A bit bigger. Let's fully admit here that no U.S. soldier ever made what they should have.
Oh no! When they get their bonuses, they do get their bonuses, as long as it's in writing. Don't forget that part. It's got to be in writing.
But what I'm saying is, none of you ever actually got paid what you should have.
Oh no! We make like a quarter an hour.
I can't believe what you're actually getting. What U.S. soldiers are actually still getting paid.
They might actually be making 50 cents an hour now. And if you make your E5 or E6, you're making about 75 cents an hour. Big money. And it really kills me as civilians that go, oh yeah, the military is so rich. Well, the DOD might be rich because they get how many $1 trillion, annually? But that doesn't go to the soldier.
No, ICBMs are expensive.
So that's the interesting part about the Pentagon on 9/11. Yes, I'm jumping ships here for a second. Because
he's joining the Navy, guys.
So on the 10th of September 2001, Donald Rumsfeld was on a press brief that they were missing $2.3 trillion. It's just missing. They don't know where it went. It just it's not in the budget.
Stimulus checks.
Huh?
2.3
trillion. Trillion.
Okay.
How do you accidentally miss $2.3 trillion?
Well, the stimulus was $2.2 trillion.
That's what I said. We just found this money, okay, and then handed it out.
But yeah, well, you're throwing me off here. I'm still trying to catch up. But guess where those records and guess where that money would have been found?
Where
in the
plane
Pentagon.
hit on
Right where-
9/11.
Did I say it? The missile hit. There wasn't an airplane. There was no airplane body. There was no airplane wings. And there were witnesses inside the Pentagon that actually did survive that heard a bomb. And they walked out the hole that was blown in the side of the Pentagon. There was no airplane. There was no body, no fuselage, no wings, no nothing.
No seats.
No! Imagine that! Y'all need to go watch Conspiracy Theory on the Pentagon. Because some of the witnesses he pulls out, oh my God.
If you're still up in the air whether the whole thing was some type of conspiracy, all you have to do is look at Building 7. It
We're not-
just
we're
fell
not-
down
we're
because it
not
was
even
afraid.
Well, that's not the rabbit hole we're taking tonight.
Ah, come on.
But no, you're absolutely right, Joe. I mean, if anyone's got any doubt that it was an inside job, that the government actually let our civilians die, it's in my damn Homeland Security textbooks. They warned Bush long before anything was going to happen. And some of them got fired, and some of them got threatened and told to shut the hell up.
Okay, but look at history in general. How many times have we been warned over and over and over again that this or that is going to happen? And how many times do we actually listen to the person that is doing the warning?
Yeah, honestly, there was probably a guy in 1811 that said, "Hey, you do that, those British up there they're gonna come back here and do something."
Probably. But you know what pisses me off more than anything? It's our own government to let 2,600 civilians die,
Yeah, but
and they're still dying today
again,
from cancer and everything else.
not trying to sit here and say, "Oh, well, the government didn't know" or anything like
Bullshit,
that.
the government didn't know.
I'm not saying that, but continuously, we're fed information. Information. This is going to happen. This is going to happen. Then this is going to happen. Take it kind of like a psychic telling you something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so a psychic comes up and they tell you, "Hey, if you do this, this is going to happen." Right? It doesn't always happen.
Okay, so why did they stand NORAD down the day before and tell NORAD, whatever happens on 9/11, do not scramble the planes?
What is the reason for that they gave?
Oh, they didn't.
They have to have given a reason to at least NORAD.
No.
Because NORAD isn't just a U.S. thing.
So they told NORAD it was a training exercise, if I remember right. And when the first plane came in, somebody asked Rumsfeld if the orders were standing, and he turned around and scowled. Yes, they're still standing. And then that person got drug out. So they knew full well what was going to happen.
Okay, so coming around to modern day right now happening. So that general that sat there and tried to tell everybody, "Hey, we're having an outbreak on this boat, guys. Like, come on, we need some help here," and then got fired for it.
Well, he got fired because he didn't stick to the chain of command and wrote a letter that everybody got a hold of.
Are you talking about the new one?
Yeah, the new is...
So here's the problem, and I don't know if he tried to go through the chain of command or not, and it didn't work. I've done that. I've done that before. I mean, just with search and rescue, I've done that before. I've done that. I did that numerous times before I finally went on social media and said, "Look, what the hell," and got suspended. So, on the military side, I'm pretty damn sure him being a captain would have known the chain of command and would have gone through the chain of command. And when you have 5,000 sailors' lives at stake, enough's enough. When he's told to shut up or it's not as bad as you're saying it is and it's just a flu, what do? You got 5,000 soldiers' lives to look after.
Right, but this is what I'm saying, though. Is okay, so this chain of command and everything else. Right. So nobody really wants to go against it, because what happens to you if you do?
You get relieved.
Exactly. So who wants to lose their job? No offense,
you
but
get put in a
especially
FEMA
right
camp.
now.
Well, hands down.
So if the president tells you, "Hey, do this," or Rumsfeld or anybody else, "Hey, you need to do this," Well, what are you going to do?
Okay, so if you have the morals to watch out for your troops, you're going to go against it, and you're going to risk your career. He did.
Absolutely. But I'm saying how many would?
Most of them are too scared.
Exactly.
Most of them are too scared because a lot of them are threatened with prison. Are they going to go to prison? Probably not.
And back to FEMA
I hear
camp.
Leavenworth is beautiful this time of year.
You know...
The little Dutch town in Washington? Yeah.
Huh? No, wrong Leavenworth.
Oh, my bad.
Wrong Leavenworth.
I get
That one's in
saltwater
Kansas.
taffy and hats from there.
That's the one. No, you know what? I'd rather go to Leavenworth than Gitmo.
I would rather just, stay home. I don't need to go to
Well,
either.
that too. That too.
FEMA camps for everyone.
Yeah,
Good job,
absolutely,
Tim.
You're absolutely right. So, FEMA camps, back
I
in
don't
the
know, man.
90s.
They have rum in Gitmo.
Do they? Damn, we need to go check
And
it out.
cigars.
Yeah, but I tell you
And
what,
cigars.
Leavenworth's got some good toilet wine.
Toilet wine, huh?
No, you know it.
So back in the 90s is when I first heard about FEMA camps. I was stationed, ironically, again in Georgia. Everything happened in Georgia. I don't know why. Georgia's just a hot spot. But I started exploring it. I heard about... I saw UN guys along the highway in Mississippi. I never got any proof of that. And then, of course, recently in the last 10 years, I've heard two different stories about, look at this convoy. There's a convoy and they're UN peacekeepers. Why are they in America? Oh, those aren't UN uniforms. Those are U.S. military. Oh, wait, that's an Army bumper number. That's Army. That's not UN. Honest mistake if you don't know what you're looking at. I guess. They usually say U.S. Army right by them, but...
The little blue
UN,
beanies is
US.
a giveaway.
Say again?
The little blue beanies is a giveaway.
It is, unless we're trying to be quiet.
Oh, like green men.
You little green men?
Yeah.
Well, they're here
Russian
too.
soldiers that aren't Russian soldiers. They're just little green men.
No, so there's a lot of things with this whole FEMA camp thing that I have issues with. Like the claim that there are 500,000 plastic airtight coffins in the middle of Atlanta, Georgia.
Right?
And them saying you don't usually buy 500,000 plastic coffins just in case something happens. You buy them because you know something is going to happen.
And I would agree with that.
So would I, except for the fact that they're not plastic coffins.
Well, so those were actually grave liners.
Yeah, which, guess what? We all know we're going to die.
Well, absolutely, but why are they all sitting on one field?
Because they're belonging to a
National
company.
Reserve.
And why was Halliburton behind them?
That company is next to Halliburton, but the company itself is Vantage.
Uh-huh.
Vantage is a storage facility for the company Vanguard.
Right.
And
Keep going.
their according to company vice president of operations Michael Lacey, there are only actually approximately 50,000 volts in storage in Madison. It's nowhere near the quantity they're talking about.
Did you see the pictures?
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you ever actually seen one of them being put into the ground? Because I put one in the ground.
Have you?
Yeah.
Okay.
One looks like about 5. When you look at it from an aerial point of view, it looks like about 5, but that's only one of them.
Okay. Did you see a picture or the video?
I saw a picture.
Look at
It's an
the
aerial
video.
point.
Because in the same FEMA camp video, Jesse Ventura and Alex Jones actually walked amongst them.
Yeah.
They were stacked up.
And that's okay. But here's the thing. Even if there is that many, they're audited annually by the government.
Okay.
Not FEMA. By the actual U.S. government, by IRS. That's two totally different sects of the government.
Do you trust
There's two
your
things
government?
about all the coffins.
Yeah, I do.
number one is, are you telling me that somebody had a contract, somebody's brother-in-law had a contract with the government to make as many as possible and make a ton of money making these little tubs, and they didn't accidentally buy a couple extra million to line somebody's pocket?
Well, so these aren't actually... this company, you don't buy hundreds at a time.
How many you buy at a time?
One. Every one of
Plus,
them
it
belongs
also
to
makes
someone.
a lot of sense having all those coffins in Georgia if you realize that The Walking Dead is filmed there.
No, but like it's a company that sells them individually. When you buy your burial plot,
Right.
And I know this because I already have mine, and actually everyone in my family has one.
Right.
When you buy them, you are required by law to also have a vault, some type of burial liner to ensure that the cemetery itself doesn't collapse upon
Is
itself.
that Canadian law or U.S. law?
Both.
That's all law.
Okay.
Okay, but I'm just gonna throw this out here though. How many was there supposedly there?
100,000?
500,000. Yeah.
Okay, so just go in devil's advocate here for a second. Now let's say they did buy 500,000 of them, and they said, okay, we need 500,000 of these, right? Put them in national stockpile just in case. I don't know. There's a massive hurricane or a massive tornado or something that has a very high death count.
Kind of like Katrina.
Where they actually needed them. Because how many years has it been since we've had a catastrophe of massive death count? And we've sat there and we've talked about, like with this going on right now, we've talked about what we have in our National Reserve. Why don't we have this in our National Reserve? Why is this not in our National Reserve? Well, what if they have it in their National Reserve just for the fact that, hey, if there's something catastrophic that does happen, we're going to need 500,000 freaking coffin liners.
Not just... Okay, but do you guys realize how many people die in the U.S. per year?
Oh, totally. And how many of those
There
are
are
John
900,000 burials. That doesn't include friggin' cremations or any other type of thing. 900,000 people get in-ground burials in the U.S. each year.
Right.
Is that counting the burials that nobody knows about?
Well, those don't count.
No.
Okay, good.
No.
Because you're not really
Just
following the
asking
laws
for-
there.
And when it comes to, I don't know how this works because I don't know. But when it comes to servicemen and women, do they get buried by the country?
Yes and no. It depends on how you served. It depends on if you got honorable discharge. It depends on...
Okay, but...
I do believe that the... I think it's in Virginia. Where's the big...
Arlington?
Texas?
Arlington, yes. So all of the plots there already have these liners in them.
Oh, yeah.
They are ready to go.
They're ready to go.
Okay, so... Again, devil's advocate here, but if they were planning on doing, I don't know, something of, massive wartime something, seeing as though it was right around, the Iraq War when they bought all these things and decided to do another burial ground for U.S. servicemen and women.
Jojo wants to know if there's liners for the swamp. Probably
Swamp
not.
liners, no. You'd have to get those.
It's called the inside of an alligator.
Only if they seal at the top.
Huh?
Use them on the swamp, but they'd have to seal at the top so they can't crawl their way out.
Right? Totally agree. So real quick too, all these liners were in Georgia. What's in Atlanta?
Hookers
Braves.
and Blow.
The CDC headquarters.
All right.
Well, if I was saying what I was actually thinking, it's going to come out bad.
So, I mean, if the CDC is preparing for a pandemic, we always have pandemics. This is just a bad one. I want to clarify, too, real quick disclaimer. Yes, we are talking about COVID tonight, but I want to clarify. Do I think COVID's a conspiracy? No. I think COVID's very real. I think COVID's a very real threat. I think COVID is killing people, and I think you need to stay the hell home. With that being said, yes, we are talking a little bit about COVID tonight because I do think there's a little more going on, but I don't think COVID itself is a conspiracy. I think COVID is a very real, a very natural virus that mutated and is killing people globally. It's a global pandemic. But I think certain elements are blowing it a little bit out of proportion.
I saw something this morning and I never got to look into it.
What's that?
Someone put down that Trump said it was artificially inseminated, I believe is the word. Which, to me, that sounds so wrong.
I saw where he said it was artificially created. I don't think it was artificially created, personally.
What's the background to that, of why he said that?
I haven't seen the background.
No.
But honestly, coronavirus has been around for many years. It is the virus that creates the common cold.
Maybe the original strain was.
Well, it was.
Okay, sorry, but no offense here, but if they were going to bioengineer something to have a high death toll, it would have a higher death toll, and it would be on a different population of people.
Well,
if you were going to bioengineer something.
It started in China and Italy first.
The thing is, and we've talked about this on S4, in the last month or two, you're not going to... You can't weaponize safely any kind of any kind of virus. Cannot be safely weaponized. Because you got
of the
weather
mutation
factors.
rates.
Huh?
Because of the mutation rates, too.
Oh, I know.
I mean, you have way too many factors there.
You got weather conditions that can change. You cannot safely and effectively target a population that you want to target without it affecting the whole planet.
Right.
That's just, that's...
Now, honestly, it doesn't mean they don't do it.
Maybe it's a trial run.
Huh?
Maybe it's a trial run just to see how well it spreads.
Yeah, but who? I don't
know.
If you want to take it to a conspiracy level, I would take it to...
Did you just blame the World Health Organization? That's possible.
We're kind of heading that direction. I'm
Okay, I'm going to throw this at you. If you are taking it as a conspiracy theory and as of the fact that this is bioengineered, the one thing that it does have going for it that kind of proves that it could potentially be is the demographic of people that it affects. Okay? Because most viruses do not stick to an age group of about 60 or more. Most viruses stick to your children.
It's shifted to 20 to 60 now, along with the elderly and the
yes,
children.
but everybody has pre-existing conditions that are already... So the thing that I'm saying is if it was bioengineered, it was bioengineered specifically to attack elderly people who...
There you go, the answer. It's the millennials did it.
Damn bastards.
Gotta get rid of all the boomers.
Look at the plagues through history, okay? Very, very few plagues in history ever targeted that demographic of people. It was everything from children to 20-year-olds to elderly to this. And the weird part about this one that I will say is kind of strange is the fact that it is not attacking children, okay? Because that's a huge thing through history. If you look into the past viruses, past plagues, past this and that, it affected children very much.
Well, but it is. They're getting it.
They are getting it. But because of their weakened immune systems, because of the fact that they haven't created a strong enough immune system yet to hold off certain things, this should be a higher death toll in that category of people. I know that sounds terrible, and I hope that never does happen.
I don't think it should be, because this is acting very along the lines of the flu and the common cold, which children are most... To start out with, that's the ones they're most ready, like their immune systems are able to combat.
One would think, but it hasn't taken as many children as you would think it would.
That's what I'm saying. And yes, people could sit there and they could say, well, we shut down the schools really quick. We stopped the spread for children. We stopped the spread for this. And yes, that is true too. Take that into account as well. But there should, and like I said, I really hope that it doesn't pass that barrier. That is a scary barrier to even think about. But if you think about history, if you think about influenza, if you think about different coronaviruses, they affect more children than this usually.
I'm just saying, if it was like a test run, like Joe was thinking, maybe. Could you imagine, like, if the CDC or whoever put it out there had a situation room? What everyone in that situation room is thinking of the guy that said, "Hey, let's do a test run."
Right?
Because, like, if it was a test run, it got totally out of hand.
But Joe's safe. He's bunkered down.
No, but that's
Excellent.
what I'm
With
saying.
pointy
Is that
sticks.
okay? If the government did create this and it was some kind of biohazard, they wouldn't specifically target the group of people that they all fit into.
Well, no, they couldn't.
Okay, because
honestly
how many
couldn't.
people in the government are under the age of 60?
5.
5.
Oh, God.
Joe
yeah.
says 5.
65.
No, 5.
No, 5.
5 people.
But that's what I'm saying. You would not engineer a weapon to take out your own demographic.
No. Absolutely
Well, I
not.
saw a thing on the Spanish flu the other night, and it wasn't the first round of the flu that killed everybody. It went around the world, it was bad, but then it was the second round that came by, and that's the one that killed millions.
Right, the one
Maybe
in
they're spreading it
1918.
first, and then we'll see what happens.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And I am of the thought that we are in the second round now.
What makes you say that?
How many of us got
November
sick
of last
shit
year.
last year?
Everyone was... It was the worst flu season we have ever had. And people did die.
Oh, absolutely. JoJo says government's like, 80% over 60. I'd give it more like 90%, JoJo. To be honest
Possible.
with you.
Well, when you can't even run until you're over, 42?
Right.
Oh, but if they all die off...
Oh, it would be a young government. That's what we. Well,
Yeah,
I'm
we'd
not
really
kidding.
Really?
want a bunch of Gen Z
Free shit for everybody.
taking over the government. No, thank you.
Well, it is time for a clean sweep. It's a time for a start over.
Like, our new president would have been an intern his last job.
Oh my God! Yeah,
In the
no.
mailroom.
We need Jesse Ventura for president. What do you think, Joe?
I'd do that.
Yep,
I'm up for it.
yep, absolutely.
I'm sorry.
Ventura
all I think
rules.
of when you say Jesse Ventura is Ace Ventura, and I'm like,
Oh, okay. No,
okay,
no.
we can't do that.
Jesse Ventura was a film star for at one point, was he not?
He's a wrestler.
Yeah, he's a wrestler.
Yeah, I'm done with that.
And he's not a businessman.
I don't care. I'm done
He's
with
got
it.
the he's got the military aspect. He was a governor.
Yeah,
Trudeau
okay.
Politics.
He was in
Trudeau
Predator.
has proved that actors do not belong in politics. Trump has proved
Oh
that.
no! Reagan was an actor.
Yep.
Who else was an actor? There's a couple more.
But Reagan
Sonny
was
Bono.
a drama.
Huh?
Reagan was drama and action.
Sonny Bono was a congressman.
Yeah.
I put wrestling under comedy. He fits in with
That's
Trudeau.
what we need, though. We need a comedian in
No.
the damn White
No.
House.
Oh,
we do.
Jesus,
Yeah.
can you imagine Kevin Hart in the White House?
Can you imagine
No,
George
thank
Carlin in
you.
the White House?
Look how it's working out for Canada.
George Carlin should have been the damn president.
He just announced. Trudeau just announced he's giving everyone $500 checks as a stimulus.
Who?
Trudeau. Everyone in Canada is getting $500. Then he
That
raised.
ain't no bad to drop in the
In
bucket.
the next freaking breath, he raised the carbon tax.
Oh, of course he did. To
On average,
$500, right?
pretty much.
That is
Is
one
Trudeau
thing,
giving
though.
out $500 Canadian or $500 Cuban?
I'd say yen.
Well, it would make it easier for them to lie if they've been trained their entire life to do it. I mean, just saying. Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
he's being called by the New York Times, which to me is now illegitimate.
I don't believe
a horrible paper.
Either.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he's being heralded as the moral standpoint of Western civilization now.
Yeah.
Morgan Freeman,
Like, really?
2020.
And what? Morgan Freeman plays a good god. He plays a good god and a good president. I mean,
His voice alone would make the broadcasts
Right?
more amazing.
And JoJo says, yeah, if you're a politician, you are an actor.
That's
There
true.
you go.
Absolutely
Yeah.
true.
Most of them are comedians, and it's satire.
Right? So, Ventura for president. It's decided.
No, Oprah and Ellen.
No.
Oprah and Ellen. Let's do it.
Yeah,
Oh
but
my
no, Oprah,
God.
yeah, you get a car, and you get a car, and no, you just get in trouble.
Oprah
You get
and
a car.
Ellen in the you know what? Just let me go lick someone that's got COVID. Hold on.
Oh,
Oh,
no, that just means you can start selling pointy sticks.
Yeah.
Oh. So, second hour, we are going to go into how do you destroy a world population?
Trump.
Are we making a plan here? Or?
Oh, we're going to pick it up. We're going to tear this whole thing apart.
How do you destroy a world population?
MTV.
Ask Atlantis.
No. So, one,
Realize what you just said.
you create the crisis. Whether it's a pandemic, whether it's a world war, whether it's a revolution. So you have to cut down the population, in some cases the weak. So, what if I'm not going to say create, but what if this pandemic was designed to take out the weak?
Opening webpage.
The hell?
Really?
Whoa.
I have a question.
Okay, that was
Because
crazy.
JoJo says if Ventura enters the race, it'll be as late as possible.
It would be.
Do you know what he falls under? Is he a Democrat or a Republican?
Independent.
Say again?
Independent. Right?
Yep.
Yeah, he's an independent party.
And some states don't have independent on their ballot. They only have Republican or Democrat.
They
That-
might, as of this year.
That needs to change.
Trump's being weird with this. Because he's not mentioning his campaign at all.
Well, no,
Well, you can't really, in the
can't.
state of a crisis.
Everyone
you
else
can't
is.
use it as a campaign platform. That's kind of a fuck.
I'm so
Bernie
sick of,
has been friggin'
well, that shows
what's
where
the other dipshit's name?
Biden.
The one that's in the lead.
Yeah.
He is.
Oh, Joe Biden would be a terrible. I'm just
Well,
going to
both
throw
of
that
them
out
would.
there.
JoJo says he's a libertarian.
Okay. That makes it go. That makes sense. So how's this going to play out? And Joe, you're a Trump fan, are you not?
Yes. Yes.
So we're coming. Every month we're coming closer to November.
Yep.
Do you think if Trump plays his cards right, he can declare a national emergency in like October, and there will be no vote? He would automatically
No,
be
there's
president.
no way that'll happen.
He has
No,
said
no,
he
no,
has
no. Even
stated
within-
fully. There is no way he will allow that to happen.
Even
he
with
said
the
there will
national
be a
emergency.
national election, and the Democrats will have to decide who's going. They'll
Okay.
have to decide themselves however they want to do it. He can't help that they are canceling their primaries,
Right.
but there has to be a national election. He said he doesn't care.
Okay.
So-
Yeah, primaries
Yeah,
don't
like-
mean anything.
Huh?
Primaries don't mean anything. That's just the Republicans doing their thing and the Democrats doing their thing.
Right.
When it comes down to the national election, it's going to happen.
Absolutely.
And it's gonna
Even
be a
if it was
landslide.
mailed in, even if it wouldn't matter. We'd have to have a national election.
Well, and the way that came up, Joe, was that one of the media asked him what he thought of the fact that some people are saying that the primaries being canceled are his fault.
yeah, because he designed a
Okay.
freaking
Everything's his
virus
fault.
to come
Jeez.
in. Come on.
But like that was asked at his press release, Like,
Right. And
press briefing. Sorry.
this pandemic, for one, has shown how stupid the media wants to get.
Exactly.
I mean,
I wouldn't say just the media.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to throw this out. So I have listened to pretty much all of the White House briefings. Okay, pretty much all of them. I will say that I missed 2. They take the words that are coming out of his mouth and they twist them so badly.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, I've watched that.
It is ridiculous. Like, he
You
could
watch
say
him say something, and then CNN twists it so badly.
Yeah.
Like 30 seconds later, you will have he just said that the world is going to end. And all he said was that he wanted to put an end to this virus. Okay, and I mean, I'm talking, they twist it so bad that there is no way that people are getting the proper information on what is actually going on. Unless you sit there and you listen to the entire thing from the beginning to the end, then...
All 10 hours?
I do. Then there is no way you are being
interesting that you've
informed.
noticed it now. It's interesting that you've noticed it now, but it's been happening for 3 years.
Oh, and it has.
No matter
and I
what
will say,
he
from
says
the
gets
time
twisted.
that he started the process of trying to be on the ballots to get elected in the first place, this has been happening.
Yeah.
And it's happened through history, through several different people that are running for office.
Yeah.
And they take their words and they twist them so badly that there's no way you're getting the right information.
And, the media is there to give the news, not their opinion.
And to be honest, that is what
Maybe
is wrong
20
with
years
media
ago.
now. Is that it used to be that media had to be non-partisan. You had to be open to both sides of the issue.
But it's been...
And the problem is that none of them are anymore.
It's always been Fox is on the right, the CNN and MSNBC are over on the left.
Then I totally agree with them in the fact that it's all fake news and this is stupid. Because we cannot sit there and have a media outlet that goes far one side or far the other, because that's not what media is. No. That's not what it's supposed to be.
It's not what it's designed to be.
That is not what a reporter actually is supposed to be doing. They're supposed to be reporting exactly what was said so that you, as the people, are informed.
And I think Fox has gone to the point of almost being debatable which side they're on. Wouldn't you say, Joe?
I see them taking both sides on some of these issues lately.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, everyone says, oh, Fox is so right-wing. It's like, well, not really.
Not really.
I've heard him come down on some things that I kind of wondered what was going on, but I guess they're just trying to report it and keep it real. Who knows?
Well, to the point that it's pissing Trump off, because Trump's like, whose side are you on? You should be on my side.
Yep.
Well,
I saw that.
JoJo says, just focus on who's offering solutions to problems, and that's the thing. So I agree with Tim when he says Trump makes himself look stupid. No president should be allowed to use Twitter, ever, or Facebook, or any of them.
No.
They shouldn't be allowed on social platforms.
Hey, everybody wanted transparency. That is about as transparent as it gets.
And then that was the fault of the American
I like the fact
people.
that we know what the hell he's thinking.
But here's the thing. This is an impossible situation.
Yep.
And I myself am not that big of a Trump supporter in regular times, but right now, that man is doing the best that he can for this country. He is thinking about the American people. Everything he said is his thoughts on how he can help the American people.
Exactly.
There is nothing more we can ask from him at this point. We can't ask him to fix every situation that either he or anyone in the past has screwed up. We can't ask for that right now. He can't create...
Even Governor Newsom, our brilliant leader here in California, a left-wing lunatic, he loves Trump right now.
Yeah.
He even said so.
And
he's getting along with him. Everything's working. He says, hey, I'm working with Trump day and day, and everything's working out, and we're getting everything we need.
That's
he's not
thing.
fighting him.
Show me someone who would do better.
Well, and that's why,
Given that much stress and that much political tension and that much everything, he really is doing the best that he can in the situation that he has.
That's why, and that's also with Inslee. The ones that bash on Inslee. It's like, really?
But Inslee's went back to political thought.
Now,
he's bashing on Trump again just because he can. He is talking about the election coming up. He's no longer talking about COVID-19. He's not talking about social distancing. His new daily briefings are about how Trump's fucking everything up.
You know,
Kinda-
everyone bashes California, but I like the fact that Washington makes San Francisco look like a Republican stronghold.
Okay. So I love California. We've been there once in my lifetime, and we went to Weed, California. I love that place. And that's as far as I've made it, and that's just circumstantial. But the thing is, I got really used to, in my youth, Arnold Schwarzenegger being your governor. Your new governor, he kind of looks kind of pathetic next to Arnold. Like, he is so freaking tiny, and it just kind of makes me laugh.
Well, that's the one thing I loved it when Arnold was governor, because I just tell everybody my governor can kick your governor's ass.
Right? And you weren't lying.
I got to admit, my favorite part of him being governor was when they
chopper.
when they grabbed the choppers coming down, and he's like,
We got to get to the chopper.
I was like, that's perfect. I love it.
Oh, you can't go wrong with Schwarzenegger.
I'm not so sure about that one.
We should just elect all the guys from the movie Predator.
No.
Schwarzenegger, Jesse Ventura.
Bill Pullman might not do so well.
No, Expendables.
Oh, God.
Yeah, there you go. Chuck
Secretary
Norris
of
for Secretary
Defense Chuck Norris.
There you go. There you go.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I've got all the Expendables. I love the Expendables. They're freaking awesome.
They all just came back on Netflix, too.
Huh?
They're all back on Netflix now.
Are they?
Yep.
You're number 4?
So is every pandemic movie out
Speaking
there.
of the Expendables, I just saw the new Rambo movie. It's definitely worth it.
Is it?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that
Oh,
yet.
yeah.
I actually did. How did you not
Completely
see that?
different than all the other Rambo movies. It was more like the first one.
And you know what I like about Rambo? He uses pointy sticks.
Yes, he does.
I mean, yeah.
Okay, for sure. Yeah.
Especially
Spoiler alert, he uses pointy sticks.
Especially at First
A
Blood.
lot of them.
First Blood, he used a lot of pointy sticks.
Yes.
Yeah, but come on, so
A
does
lot.
Predator.
You don't remember First Blood?
Yeah, but we call those logs, not pointy sticks.
Oh, no. When he had the log that had all the pointy sticks on it.
You wouldn't
it's
believe how
like-
many he uses in the new movie. It's pointy stick after pointy stick.
Right on. Right on. And for listeners that don't understand what we're talking about, Joe is the master of pointy sticks. And I'm sorry, but your bullets, they're not going to last forever. You're going to be relying on pointy sticks.
Pointy sticks do not run out of bullets.
Exactly. And technically, your gun is a pointy stick. But
And if you break it, you could find a new one.
right?
Friend, the only problem I had with Rambo is his Bowie knife.
What?
That
I
thing-
had one.
Yeah, I know. And most people call that a sword.
All right, so we're coming down to the top of the first hour. We're going to go ahead and take a break.
Hi, Nikki.
I got to get
Nikki.
coffee. Nikki! You missed a pointy stick. Well, actually, you're laughing, so you probably didn't. So we'll come back. We will come back, and we're going to continue on. It's probably not said right, but how do you destroy a world population? And,
5G.
No, but there's some things I want to go over.
5G is going to destroy everybody.
I just saw a video, and I don't know the validity of it, but supposedly in the Midwest, they are outlawing gardening seeds.
What? Why would you outlaw seeds?
Because they don't want the people to grow their own food. So, if you want to destroy a population, what are you going to pinpoint at? Just like in Washington State, it's illegal
The
to
food.
catch. Yeah, the food, the water, the air,
Technology.
technology, and so we're gonna pick these apart and talk about them. Anyway, when we come back, stay tuned and enjoy Cryptomnesia.
You are listening to S4 on Spreaker.com.
They say I'm evil, they say I'm dead inside. Check out my ego, cause I'm running here tonight. Just burn me like a witch, watch as I catch fire, but I cannot die. I am your poltergeist. I must have 1,000 souls trapped inside. 1,000 souls that are haunting in my eye. You keep trying to kill me, but I cannot die. You try to ignore me, but I haunt you deep inside. You keep trying to kill me, but I cannot die. You try to ignore me, but I haunt you deep inside. They say I'm evil, they say I'm dead inside. Check out my ego, 'cause I brought it here tonight. Just burn me like a witch, and watch as I catch fire. But I cannot die. I am your poltergeist, poltergeist, poltergeist. Poltergeist, poltergeist. Poltergeist, poltergeist. Poltergeist, poltergeist. I'll eat your dreams while you immerse in all of your hate. Just waste away like you're destined by your pride. I'll be alive but I'm dead to watch you die. So go ahead and take my life, I dare you to try it. You keep trying to kill me, but I cannot die. You try to ignore me, but I haunt you deep inside. You keep trying to kill me, but I cannot die. You try to ignore me, but I haunt you deep inside. They say I'm evil, they say I'm dead inside. Check out my ego, 'cause I brought it here tonight. Just burn me like a witch, and watch as I catch fire. But I cannot die. I am your poltergeist. Poltergeist, poltergeist. Poltergeist, poltergeist. Oh, poltergeist, poltergeist. Poltergeist, poltergeist. Oh, you're caving in, the loss of sleep keeps you obsessing on your pride. But in the end, you let me in. They say I'm evil, they say I'm dead inside. Check out my ego, 'cause I'm rotting here tonight. Just burn me like a witch, and watch as I catch fire. But I cannot die. I am your motherfucker. They say I'm evil, they say I'm dead inside. Check out my ego, 'cause I brought it here tonight. Just burn me like a witch, and watch as I catch fire. But I cannot die. I am your poltergeist. Poltergeist, poltergeist. Poltergeist, poltergeist. Oh, poltergeist, poltergeist. Poltergeist, poltergeist.
Welcome back to S4 with your host, Eric Cooper.
Welcome back to S4, folks. And oh, yeah, tonight's an interesting night. Like I said at the beginning of the show, I ran in here hot. So we're talking conspiracy tonight. It's Cole, Kayla, Joe, and myself, and we have Nikki in the chat room. She just joined. Glad to see you here, Nikki. Hope everything's good at home now. And so we just started this hour. We're talking about what does it take to destroy a world population. So what are some of the things humans need that can be destroyed? Food, water, technology,
access to medical facilities.
Medical, and we're gonna talk about each one of those because some states have laws that like Washington State, it's illegal to catch rainwater.
Yes, no.
Well, go ahead.
They want to tax your rain barrels.
It is illegal to harvest rainwater for the use of crop fields that are bigger than a specific amount. I went on and I did a bunch of research on that because I was like, bullshit. And it is, but only in... I can't remember the amounts or anything like that, but only for harvesting for a specific amount of irrigation space is it actually illegal.
Which doesn't make sense because it really shouldn't matter how much rain you're catching. It's a natural phenomenon. And we all know we have drought season. So a lot of people catch rain for drought season so they still have water to water the plants with. So what's the matter? It's rain. Who cares?
Well, I can see them putting a cap on it. Okay,
Really?
yeah, like if you have two grain bins that are just made, you've made them watertight, you've made them just as rain catchers. Friend, that's what, 150,000 gallons of water almost?
Okay.
In two grain bins? That can fuck up a river. Or a creek.
No.
How?
No.
Because that
No.
water's not going in the river? No, there's plenty of creeks around that are catching the same amount of water. And explain the logic.
You're turning that water into stagnant water. By the time it returns to that river, it's not going to be the same. That water's not rushing out of your grain bins fast enough to actually do anything.
Jojo. Yeah.
So what state was it that they decided you can't catch the rainwater? That's Washington, right?
That's
Yes.
Washington State.
And like I said,
Now,
though...
who runs that state? What kind of politicians do they have up there?
Well, and do we really need to? It's Washington State.
Yeah,
Hey, we have our drought seasons, too.
Huh?
We have our drought seasons, too.
Sure we do.
And just because it rains a lot over here doesn't mean Eastern Washington gets the same amount of rain that we do.
Oh no,
we don't like those people.
We don't like Eastern Washington. Yeah, they want to be their own state, so they can go
Yeah.
play and be their own
Yeah.
state. Bye bye.
We'll keep our rain.
Exactly. So Jojo says, "What if people hoard rainwater like toilet paper?" Oh, they were. Well, who cares? It's rain.
Well,
it's natural.
At this point in time,
Good luck finding toilet paper.
a gallon of water is more expensive than a gallon of gas. So,
Yeah, it's true. So it's down
Wait till they
to-
find out I've been hoarding air.
hey,
Oh, my
you
God,
don't
really?
do that.
What movie was that? Oh my god. A Total Recall. Air in a can.
Right?
Joe's
Oh
just-
no!
Well, they
No,
were
folks,
on Mars.
Do not ever puff air. Please don't. No, that's
Not what I meant. Not what I meant.
We do not. We just have to clarify this for the stupid people because there are stupid people out there. They'll say, "Oh, they said to get air out of a can." No, don't.
Do not shoot that in your nose. It is meant for cleaning your keyboards.
Oh, good God!
I can just imagine Joe sitting down there with just like a storage container full of balloons.
Right? Speaking
Oh, yeah.
of which, that's an interesting movie or a TV show.
Got me a couple of air balloons full of air.
Well,
Weather
no, there-
balloon.
So there's a new series out on Hulu called Homeland Fort Salem, and it's
Oh.
kind of cool.
So it's an
It's a
secondary
series,
off of Homeland.
but it's witches.
Oh, then no.
Oh, you're talking
No.
the yeah.
You know the series I'm talking about, Homeland, right?
Yeah,
Is it
This is called
based off
Homeland.
that?
No.
No. This is Homeland Fort Salem. And this one's cool in that they had made a pact in the 1700s that all children of witches had to join the military. And they had to go through boot camp, and it's basically magical and psychic protection of the country.
Did you say woo camp?
Huh? Boot camp.
Woo camp?
Boot camp.
Woo!
Okay, so
And it's only on the third season, or the third episode actually. And the enemy, it's another psychic attack on the United States, and they come in the form of balloons.
Okay,
And then when the balloons pop, it's a mass suicide. Everybody around where the balloon pops commits suicide, and that's their psychic attack.
So you just explained my labs, but with a balloon.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
basically.
Gotcha.
Do they use the red balloons from the movie It?
No, they're blue.
Oh.
They're
Copyright infringement.
They're blue balloons. But it's a pretty interesting series.
Do you think they got the idea for the balloons off of Fukushima balloons from Japan? That
No.
Yeah, the Japanese used balloons in World War II. They floated them over and tried to blow up Washington and
Right.
set it on
Yeah.
fire.
Exactly. So do you think that's where they came up
Yeah.
with the idea for these?
They
They called them the
magical
Fugu balloons.
The
Yeah.
Palestinians are using them in their war over there. They're using white balloons, and they attach a small incendiary device to them, and kids are grabbing them in
Ooh.
Israel.
Today?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
happening
wow.
now.
It's been a process they've been using for like 4 years,
Right.
and unfortunately for them, it's working.
Mm-hmm.
The kids are just near the borders
Right.
are grabbing the balloons, and
They blow up.
yep.
You would think.
Problem
after
is,
the
when they
first couple
send a
kids
bunch of
blew
balloons
up-
over with incendiary devices to blow up kids, they get a whole bunch of rockets and missiles back.
You would think, right?
Yeah.
There hasn't actually been that much of a recourse for it, honestly. It's just something now that's known to happen.
Well, keep your kids inside. You shouldn't have to.
Kids
but
over there don't touch balloons,
Nope. I
which
get
is a
that.
sad thing.
I get that. So, yeah, that's mind blowing. So with this, what?
Mind blowing, really.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So since we're talking terrorist acts, it's interesting that 2 months ago we have ISIS that's telling all their cells and other terrorist leaders, "Oh my God, you're going to catch COVID. Stay out of the UK." But you've got the neo-Nazis and the white supremacists going, "Oh, COVID. We can make this a bioweapon." So they put out a mandate to all of their white supremacist members and all the neo-Nazi members. We're going to take advantage of this, and if you get COVID, you are to go spit on doorknobs and get all the blacks, all the Jews, law enforcement, government, give all of them COVID. That was their mandate.
There was a video yesterday on the news about a guy in a supermarket that was spitting on all the food, and the people shopping in the supermarket gang tackled him and held him for the police.
Good. That should be
Yeah.
that should be a homicide, attempted
Yeah.
homicide.
It is.
Right there.
Yeah,
It
it is
is.
now. Yep.
Good.
Oh yeah, he was arrested.
Yeah, because there's a girl that did it in somewhere in the Midwest. She did a viral video of going into Walmart and licking everything.
Where do these people come from? Where does any kind of logic come from?
Dude, before this was going on, people would film themselves going into Walmart and taking a spoonful of ice cream out of one of the cans and then putting it back.
I get that, but this is a deadly virus.
They don't think so.
Yes, but okay. Not only that,
Because
but
no
there's
one
a lot
believes
of-
the government.
There's also a lot of people that believe if they're going down, they're going to take as many people with them as they possibly can.
That's true.
Human beings are psychotic.
But also think of how much the world relies on the internet. We rely on social media for entertainment. And I'm including myself in that. I watch at least 4 videos a day of just entertainment value. But
I
these
don't-
influencers, as they call themselves, are having problems now. Because how do you make an entertaining video in your home by yourself? All of these people have entourages. They all have people that they go out and do this stuff with. They can't do that now. So they have to try and make their videos just as entertaining.
Yeah, because killing off how many people
So you know
is
what you
super
do?
entertaining. Yeah.
Then go Facebook Live from your house.
And say what? I flushed
Oh my God,
the
if you
toilet
get-
3 times
Dude.
today.
Joe, can you get creative enough to go Facebook Live from your house and entertain people?
I thought about that, but I don't want anyone to know where I'm at.
Fair enough. I mean, but you know, oh my God. So I guess we're lucky in that we live in the mountains.
I actually had an idea the other day. Well, this was a couple weeks ago, and I came back from the grocery store, and I was going to show people how to decontaminate all the cans and stuff you just bought at the grocery store using a flamethrower.
Right.
And but I didn't want to do it.
Okay.
You know, there's a few out there that are doing still a good job of what they do. Kurt Tochi. I think that's how I say his name. His last name is Tocci. He is a film actor. Hasn't been in anything really big yet, but his videos are still just as funny as they were. He just did one where he does COVID-19 versions of all the Disney classic songs. And like he does a really good job, just him and in his house. But like some of these guys who aren't as big as him, because he has over 3 million followers.
Right.
Some of the guys who aren't as big as him, they have to find ways to still try and get their image up. And what has been the old vantage of publicity? All publicity is good publicity.
Right.
Even bad.
So
And sex tapes have proved that.
True.
Right? So, like, them going out and doing that, they may get thousands of haters, but those people will still click follow. Because they want to see how stupid the person's going to be next. They want to be able to comment on it. They want to be able to tell them how stupid they are. So they still have those followers.
It shows how weak humans are.
It does. But it is what it is now. We just have to... Our laws have to adjust for it. And they are.
So, what if this whole thing is a natural reset?
Mother Nature fighting back, you mean?
Mother Nature pissed off at human stupidity. Get rid of the stupid ones. The smart remain. The
It's
ones...
not really working.
Huh?
Yeah. Nope.
Mother Nature got pissed off one time at the dinosaurs.
Right?
Yeah, and the problem is this isn't really working then. Her plan sucks. It needs to
It
be
ain't
a little
over.
bit more. No, but we're losing too many smart ones.
That's like saying the football game's over in the first quarter.
No,
Okay,
but we're losing too many smart ones for it to, like, we're losing people we shouldn't.
No, that is the exact...
I shouldn't say that because we really shouldn't lose anyone. I don't want to say that.
That is the exact thing, though.
You
Okay?
heartless bastard.
So if you're going to talk about the fact that it's a Mother Nature reset, okay? The only way that a Mother Nature reset could work in this day and age with the amount of technology and everything that we have is to take out the smartest. Okay? Because if you do, then all of the followers, sheep, whatever you want to call people,
That's why they're taking out the old people.
have no one to
Right.
go to. They have no advice. They have no doctors. They have no nurses. They have no
Yeah,
set
but that's-
of people
that's
that
how
are
we
going to
ended up
help
with President
them
Pee Wee Herman.
survive.
This is not good.
But people in general lean so much on other people and expect so much of other people that if you take out all of the people that are the smarter ones, that are the ones that people actually go and lean on, then you're going to have an entire generation of people that doesn't know where to go for advice, that has nowhere to go. And when you have that, and then you take the uneducation part of it too, so we stopped all schools, we stopped all this, we stopped all that, right? So if education is taken out of the equation as well, then you can't learn from your past mistakes. You can't learn from this or that. And if you take out the smartest guys, who are you going to figure out your information from? Who are you going to learn from? And how are you going to become a civilization that actually makes it?
I think it's a natural reset, but I think it's to test humans. What are they going to do next? We have to adapt.
Well, hey, it's not just humans now. I just heard that a bunch of tigers in the Bronx Zoo have COVID-19.
Are you serious?
It's jumped species.
Well, they've been
We're in
talking
deep
about
doo-doo
that
now.
for a while.
I wonder what that Tiger King thinks about that.
Right? That's a new one. That makes it a zoological virus.
Well, they've been talking about that for months now, that there are specific cases of it jumping into house cats, house dogs.
I heard
mixed and scattered.
I heard one case where a dog got it in Italy. I heard one case where a cat got it in New York, I think it was. I can't remember where. But you don't hear about it.
Of course you don't.
You've heard one case of a dog. You've heard one case of a cat. Now you hear about
right, and then it's very hushed up, and it's, hey, no, that didn't really happen. Fake news and stuff. Okay, because if a virus does evolve to the point where it can make a zoological jump and then jump back, then that means the mutation rate of this is way higher than people are putting it at. And it means that this second wave of this that's coming through is a completely different strand and different image than the first one that came through. Right. And if this one is already this bad, can you imagine it on
Wait
steroids?
for the tiger virus.
Huh?
Wait for the tiger virus. The tigers have it, then they'll pass it back. Instead of the bird flu, it'll be the tiger flu.
Right.
That's the one that's going to kill everybody.
Exactly. Now, this is what I'm saying. So if they tell you that it actually made a zoological jump and that it's in a new species now, which we don't have immunities to half of the crap that they do, now it's going to jump back. And if it can cross barriers back and forth, then it's just going to continue evolving and mutating until there is no possible way to come up with an antiviral.
So I remember when we did our first COVID show 2 months ago, and Markham said, your typical virus will mutate twice in a month. That's a normal mutation.
Yeah.
So what this is telling me...
But they're small mutations.
No, but these are tiny mutations.
They're not completely
This one's huge.
Okay.
Yeah, this one's huge.
To do a zoological jump, that mutation rate has to be so fucking high that it would be insane to think about a virus that can mutate that quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, they're going to hush it up. If it's actually happening, they're going to have to hush that up because it's going to scare too many people that actually know what a virus is capable of.
It's all over the news. The tigers in the Bronx Zoo. Google it. It's there. They can't hush that one up anymore.
So the day I'll worry about that is the morning I wake up, look on the front porch, and there's a mouse sitting out there coughing. If I see a mouse coughing, we're done.
Yeah, here I'm worried about the squirrels.
Right?
Right.
Like if you see a squirrel cough, kill it.
Yeah.
From distance.
No,
throw the pointy stick.
If you're close enough to hear it cough, it's probably too late.
Hey, I am going to ask the question there just because this scared my kid the other day. Okay, so we were sitting in the living room, and it was early in the morning, so the TV wasn't on yet, none of that was on, and we had two birds, one right after the other, hit into our front window. Okay, and he freaked out. He was like, "Oh my God, the birds!" Right? And has anybody else seen any kind of a jump in bird death, fish death, anything like that?
If you do,
it's called 5G.
Those need to be. Oh yeah, that's another issue is 5G. But folks, if you find multiple birds dead in one area, you need to call health department ASAP. You know, because that brings up last week or 2 weeks ago, I got messaged by someone here locally that was finding dead birds in a local establishment and wanted to know, is that something to be concerned about? Well, if you find especially multiple species of birds that are dead in one area, you need to call the health department.
Yeah, but they have that here in Northern California. If you find a dead bird or whatever, don't touch it or anything, and you call the state and they come out and test it for West Nile.
Yeah.
Oh, and let me tell you, especially, okay, in our area, I don't know if this is everywhere, but in our area, do not do anything to the swans. If you see
No.
if you see a swan and it hit a power line, okay,
Right.
don't touch it. There is a specific line that you call for the swan guys to come and collect that bird.
Yeah, as Kayla knows, otherwise you can go to jail.
You can,
yeah.
and it's not great.
Well, you never went to jail.
I never went to jail for it, but
No.
but don't touch the swans. The
And
swans
what-
are
and
tracked,
don't-
and they are. It is very serious business to
Don't
screw with a
touch the
swan.
dead birds either. I want to clarify that. Don't touch the dead birds. Just call the health department. Take a picture. Don't touch them. And that's good, JoJo. JoJo says he's not seeing any animal death increases. Yeah.
No strange animal. And to Kayla's thing about the birds hitting the windows, isn't that an old wives' tale? It means someone in the house is going to die.
Yeah, it is.
There you go.
There is that.
It
too.
also has to do with magnetic currents. There's a long-standing theory on magnetic currents and earthquake frequencies, and birds being hitting into windows.
5G, I'm telling you.
It's 5G's killing everything.
Yep.
Well,
Got to protect the bees, too.
We watched this movie last night where a kid fell through the ice. And my son looked at me and said, "Man, that sucks." And right before it, he was arguing with his mom about his homework. And I looked at Jalen and I said, "You know, if he would have done his homework, he wouldn't be having these issues." This morning, Jalen woke up and did his homework.
Right? It reminds me of Krampus. But anyway. Good old Krampus. Where's Krampus at today? So, yeah, and while we're on that topic, folks, pay attention to your kids. Your kids are having more psychiatric issues right now, being stuck in the house, not knowing what's going on. In fact, we've got me and Mom people coming over for dinner tomorrow, just because, well, they're going so stir crazy that, yeah, no. So, yeah, pay attention to your kids. I know your kids are going stir crazy because I know ours are. So
you can there are still ways out there to do play dates and stuff like that. Do them online.
Yep.
You know,
absolutely.
Our kids with Eric's kids, they constantly talk on this weird ass game called Roblox, and it actually helped our youngest daughter learn how to read because they have to read the chats.
Yep.
So she's finally catching up on her reading level and figuring out what she's supposed to do there. So it is helping her. The other thing is you got to remember this is a time where the schools don't have many resources available for what they're doing. It's a hard time on them. It's a hard time on our kids. Teach your kids things that they can't learn in schools. All of our schools are taking out art programs. They're taking out mechanic programs, carpentry. Home ec is dying in schools.
Yep.
Teach your kid
You
how to
just hit
cook.
it right on the head there. Well, you all have kids. I don't have kids because no one will have sex with me, but you guys all have kids. If you got them home, don't stick them in front of a TV or a computer. Take them out. Show them how to change a tire on a truck. Show them how to change a spark plug. Show them how to plant a seed. You know, show them all the things that kids aren't doing. You have the time now. Do it.
In fact, we're getting the rototiller tomorrow, and I'm tilling up the garden tomorrow, and we're getting our garden in. That's one thing this pandemic has done, I think, for a lot of people. We're already self-reliant, so I'm not worried about us. But I see a lot more people wanting to get the garden going, and wanting to get chickens and get eggs, and wanting to get more self-reliant. That's the best thing you can do right now.
Joe, 2 pieces of advice for you. One, it helps when you are willing to give them your address. 2,
That's why I date homeless women. I can drop them off anywhere.
the pickup line, "Want to see my pointy stick," is probably going to scare them away.
Right?
I just tell them I have toilet paper.
No, you have to be picky. You're not being picky if you tell them you have toilet paper.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be Charmin.
Right?
I got 2-ply, babe.
Oh, God. Okay, so Yeah. Here's the other thing I want to bring up. You know, the Armageddonists.
Oh, Jesus.
I see that a lot. I see that a lot on Facebook. This is the second coming. This is the plague. Now, you have some, and I get scoffed at, and I get my eyes rolled at, and I get called crazy. But there are Armageddon Christians.
Absolutely.
These are a very small group of people, but they are Christians that believe if they incite the second coming, Jesus is coming back now. It doesn't work that way, folks. Look at your Bible. If you actually read your Bible, you would know that even Jesus says nobody knows when he's coming. He comes like a thief in the night.
Well,
yes, I know your Bible.
I tell him the same thing that I tell everyone else. What Jesus does in his own bedroom is his business. Leave him alone.
Absolutely. But no, if we incite violence, it's going to make Jesus come back. It doesn't work that way.
Foursquare. Oh, no.
No. Southern Baptist, Assembly of God, Evangelical, not just Foursquare.
Yeah.
They're the least of your worries. But
okay. Okay, here we go. With religion, right? All religion has the same basic understanding.
They do.
All of them. Every single one of them. And whether it's you believe in God, whether it's you believe in some form of higher power, no matter what it is that you are believing in, you all have the same core beliefs.
No, ours is better than yours. That's my favorite one.
Like,
my God is the one true God. Really?
What was it? We were
is
watching...
Thor. So is Zeus. So is Allah. So is Buddha. They are all the same core.
I was watching this show the other night, and a whole bunch of people all got together, and they all prayed for this kid to make it through something. Mm-hmm. And it was one of those, like super Christian shows, and everybody was like, okay, well, let's all pray together and make this happen. Okay. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking at it, and from my point of view, I'm not super Christian in any way, but I'm not super unchristian either. I don't know how to put that. I believe in a higher power. I don't know what it is.
You're exhausted.
But I'm looking at them all standing there and all praying for the same thing at the same time in the same place. And all I can think of is, this is exactly like a thought form.
Yep. Global consciousness.
Everybody standing there doing one thing, thinking about one thing at one time, and making it happen because of the fact that they are all focused on the same thing at the same time.
Mm-hmm. It's global consciousness.
Exactly. So no matter what it is that you believe in, if you have this group of people that are standing there and all pushing for the same exact thing at the same exact time, well, that's prayer. That's global consciousness. That's whatever you want to call it.
Honestly, to counter your point, I'm sure that all the people on the Titanic were praying, and how'd that work out for them?
That's not true. There was an entire band that just kept playing, not praying.
Right?
Oh, they were playing. Okay.
Oh, but then you have the whole choir that went and sang, and they all got COVID. The whole choir did.
Wow.
Folks, stay home. Don't listen to your pastor that tells you to come to church anyway, because it's happening.
Oh, they just arrested that guy.
Huh?
I just saw that on the news. It was some pastor got all his congregation together after they told him not to, so they arrested him.
Good, good. That's good to hear, because he actually...
The guy's a moron. It has nothing to do with religion. It has to do with people gathering in big groups.
Yep.
And it has to do with public health.
And that was a pastor in Louisiana who said, God's not going to listen to us. We have to meet in the church so we can pass the tithe plate around, and you got to give me your money. And God's going to protect you.
Maybe people that do that, we can do without them. Let them gather.
Absolutely.
I just saw online my dad just explained toilet paper hoarding.
Oh, God.
Some people are eating their own cooking for the first time. For those of you that are having those type of issues, maybe you shouldn't be teaching your kids how to cook. Just saying.
Oh, yeah. Especially when you're already short on toilet paper.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Months and months from now, they're going to find people in their apartments and their houses that are dead. They're desiccated. They've starved to death, but they're going to be lying on a huge pile of toilet paper.
Right?
I never.
They hoarded the
that.
wrong thing.
I never get, while everybody was out getting the toilet paper and the cleaning supplies, we were getting the staples and
rice, lots of rice,
and a 10-man tent and camping supplies and things like that. Things that help you survive.
You have staples in your toilet paper?
Huh?
You have staples in your toilet paper?
No. Fortunately not. That would hurt.
I figure I live in Washington. There's enough leaves around here that no matter what, I'm going to be good.
Exactly. We're in the mountains.
And that's the thing, though. Like, everyone's looking down on others for what they're buying at stores. Here's the thing. I go to town once a month for food.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we do.
So, when I buy, it is a $400, $500 bill that I'm spending.
Right.
And I have a carton and a half of food.
But you're not buying a whole pallet of toilet paper.
No, but...
No, that's on the 15th, not the 1st. I have 6 people in this house. We go through a whole pallet of toilet paper a month almost.
Absolutely.
Well, and see, that's the thing, is that we've always done that. Always. Since before this, since after this, we've always done that. Why? Because we live so damn far away from a store that I don't want to make more than one trip, maybe 2 a month.
No.
Okay?
Especially now.
And I definitely don't want to be going in every other day to buy eggs or whatever it is that I need, because every single time that you go in there, it's an infested germ pit. And that's before virus, that's after virus, it's an infested germ pit.
Although I do gotta say, this is the first time that we can actually afford to go in twice, like every 2 days. Because our van's making like 13 weeks a gallon. So.
Right?
No joke. Right.
Absolutely. So.
I got a question.
Okay.
I wrote out what you posted on Facebook about the show tonight. Mm-hmm. What the heck is a fusion center?
So, a fusion center is all the major cities have them. A fusion center is an intelligence gathering source for state law enforcement agencies. Now, the problem with the fusion center is there is no oversight. There is no boss.
There is no intelligence.
No, not really.
Yeah, I've been to most of the major cities. I understand that.
But see, the problem with it is they can decide whoever they want. Oh, conspiracy theorists are a problem, so we're going to go after conspiracy theorists. They're going to come and arrest you because you're a conspiracy theorist in their eyes.
In theory, isn't saying that conspiracy theorists are a problem, isn't that a conspiracy and they'd have to arrest themselves?
I agree. Absolutely. But no, the fusion centers are a problem because, again, the federal government just gives them a budget, doesn't oversight it, does not supervise it, does not dictate anything.
What authority do they have?
They have the authority of... I'm trying to think.
Look, if somebody knocked on my bunker door and they flashed a badge that said Fusion Center, I would just laugh my ass off and close the door.
So would I. But, so your state police, your local law enforcement, all of your local law enforcement officers are supposed to share information with the Fusion Center. Does that mean they do? No.
So really, they only have the
I believe the
enforcement ability to contact their local agencies and actually give them the information.
Basically, yeah. So
and give them a guideline of what to do about it.
So it was. So remember about a month ago when they went into Caleb Cole's house and took his weapons because he was a neo-Nazi.
Yeah,
That would be the Fusion Center that was overseeing that.
Okay.
And they didn't have any probable cause. Well, they did. But they didn't have any legal jurisdiction to take his weapons. But they did. That was a landmark case. But because he was a neo-Nazi, had neo-Nazi ideology, and was a threat, there's hands down he was a threat. It's the way they went about it and did it. Because they actually did violate his Second Amendment rights.
Outside of what's going on right now, like a full-out disaster area, they fixed jurisdictional messes.
Of what?
Jurisdictional mess. Like, let's say you have...
So city police versus sheriff versus...
Yeah, who has jurisdiction. They fix that kind of stuff, don't they?
They can. Now, so...
Try and make the 2 or 3 services work together.
So here locally, for example, the Mount Vernon Police Department, the Burlington Police Department all work together. There is no jurisdiction problem. If someone's speeding or someone's getting away from a crime and they cross the Burlington Bridge into Mount Vernon, Burlington's got full authority to continue the pursuit, whereas before they had to stop at the bridge.
Yes.
Yeah. They have shared jurisdiction. Also, why you see on Highway 20, for example, if there's a drunk driver, they call the state patrol because the sheriff will not arrest him. The state patrol has to come in and do the arrest because it's a state highway.
But they can stop and detain.
Yes.
Yes.
That's where the jurisdiction...
And that's where most people get their ideas that you don't have jurisdiction over this. Yeah, I can't arrest you. You're correct. But I can.
So, Nikki wants to know, we talked about the comet on top of everything else. We briefly did...
we talked about a meteor, not a comet.
We talked about the meteor that's coming that...
Now we're going to argue about whether it's a comet or a meteor.
And whether it's coming or going.
What is the difference between
It's a comet.
And a meteor? I think it's a meteor.
There's a really bright light in the frickin' sky is coming towards the Earth.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so while this whole pandemic is going on, nobody's really looking up in the sky. Some people are. Some people see the bright light and go, that's a
I
UFO.
wonder what that is. Right.
But, no, it's a very interesting bright light that's not the moon.
Well, last time this happened, the T-Rex was the only one who knew about it. And
no, you know what? He
couldn't get anyone's attention because he was trying to raise his hand, but, well, you know.
You know what's interesting is the last comment I remember was in 1997, and that was Haley. And that was when George Applewhite took his whole little cult, Heaven's Gate, and they were all going to go meet the mothership behind Haley Bop, and so they all committed suicide. Now, what's interesting at that point in time, I was heavy into the ufology field, like I still am, but I was in Landstuhl, Germany, in a rehab facility, an army rehab facility, and I got called out. It was 10 a.m. in the morning, and I got called out of my session and asked to go see the psychologist, and the psychologist says, have you been watching the news? I'm like, oh, about Haley Bop and Heaven's Gate? She goes, yeah, you're not suicidal, are you? I'm like, really? I'm a ufologist. That doesn't mean I'm going to be suicidal. No. She goes, I'm so happy to hear you say that. I'm like, oh my God, no.
You should have said, would you like some Kool-Aid?
Oh, but no, we sat out and talked about UFOs for about an hour. It was interesting because she saw one. Like, oh, cool. So, yeah, the psychologist and I sat and talked about UFOs for an hour. But
now,
yeah.
Okay, and has anyone, has NASA or any of our space agencies talked about this?
No, that's what's interesting. It's quite hush-hush.
Well, most of them probably aren't
It's
working.
all over the news.
Is it?
Yeah, you see it
Yeah,
everywhere.
NASA's on their website. It's a big comet. It's not going to come anywhere near us. It's going to be bright. Oh my gosh!
Well, that's good to know.
Okay.
It's not a world ender.
Outstanding.
They're not going to send Bruce
know,
Willis
but I
up
think
in a
Nikki's
shuttle to
probably
try
gonna
to
say-
take it out.
Nikki's probably going to say something different.
How close is this comet supposed to come?
Yeah,
Not
do you
close.
know? Not close? How
Not
close?
close.
How close is not close?
Like we're talking about a light year, or are we talking more like a million meters.
No, it'll come to the inner solar system, but it's not going to get anywhere near Earth. But we'll be able to see it, and they'll go, "Oh, look, there's a bright blue thing over there."
Oh, nice. Okay.
The moon's going to
That's
be a
it.
donut.
That's
Okay.
it.
Good that we don't need to call Bruce Willis.
No,
Keep him
I
on
wasn't.
speed dial. You never
wouldn't call
know.
him anyways.
I was honestly thinking of the fact that if it came in between, like, let's say us and the moon, okay.
It might shake the moon up a little bit.
Nope.
No, but if it was the fact that it came that close to our area and everything else, the only thing that I'd worry about is the electromagnetic currents from it and causing issues with different.
Oh, there
Yeah.
goes our
So-
5G. Oh my God, the 5G is destroyed.
Well,
No, so that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm wondering how close is close. Like,
Well, the comet wouldn't have electromagnetic currents coming from it, but it could possibly distort our electromagnetic
yes, that's what
currents around the Earth that protect us from all the rays from the sun. But
is it
it's
getting
it's
close
not
to
going to come
any
that close.
planet?
It's not coming close. It's not going to hit anything. It's just going to be a little light show, and everyone's going to ooh ah, and then it's going to disappear.
Because the problem, like my thought always with those is like, yeah, it may not hit Earth, but if it hits another planet within the solar system, and it hits it hard enough, it could knock its off its axis.
Uh-huh.
It's not that big. Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
No.
Ain't going to happen.
No.
Okay.
Ain't going to happen.
Less than a Twinkie.
So I
If it
wonder
hits
how many
Mars, it's
people are
going to be a big
panicking.
crater. If it hits Jupiter, it's just going to swallow it up.
What about Pluto?
Okay, cool.
Yeah. What about Pluto?
No one cares about Pluto. It's not a planet anymore.
It is too. Oh my God.
I know.
Dude, I was in
Pluto
third
will always
grade.
be a planet in my life.
Exactly. I was in third grade, and Pluto was a planet, and it's still a planet,
When I was in third grade, Pluto was a dog.
and a funny dog. That too. So we talked about water. Let's talk about infrastructure. So did you hear that they are not opening the pass,
Yeah.
and that they're actually putting a checkpoint at the pass?
Joe, are they keeping any of your guys' passes down there closed? Like you guys still have snow.
the
in
one
some
right,
areas.
the one right here by me is Donner Pass, which everybody knows about the Donner Party. But the only time they close that is when it's snowing, and it's snowing right now. But they keep that open.
Okay.
Oh, like
It's
all
on
year?
Interstate 80 going over the top and the Sierras. In fact, the interesting thing about Interstate 80 is for the last 10, 15 years, they've been raising all the overpasses from San Francisco all the way up to the top of the Sierras. They've been raising them for the sole purpose of the fact that Army transports and transporting tanks on trucks can
Right.
fit underneath them all.
And that makes
That's
sense.
interesting.
That makes sense. And I gotta say, Izzy, you're absolutely right. Pluto is the best planet. I'm right there with you.
Not true.
Hey, boy, I'm about to throw something at you. You're gonna hear live.
There
on
is
this
no way
floor.
for me to say this.
What?
No, there is no way for me to say my favorite planet without it sounding really.
I know
weird.
where he's going.
Yep.
Pluto.
My favorite planet is Uranus.
Ah.
But I have to say planet before that, otherwise,
Okay. Joe
You've got
might get
Klingons
hot
on
and
your
bothered.
Uranus.
If I said I like Uranus best, that's a little different.
So yes, they are actually they're keeping our pass closed, but they are putting a checkpoint with security. I heard that from some of the locals the other day.
Okay, but that kind
okay,
of
but
makes
to be
sense. They're
perfectly-
not clearing the pass, so like they kind of have to put security at each entrance. People are still
What
going to
pass
try
is
and
that
go.
up there? What highway?
That's Highway 20. It's Cascade Pass or North Cross Pass. There we go.
Is that a major east-west through Washington?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you got to go 3 hours south.
But they close that pass every winter.
They do.
So concrete is a tourist trap for that pass during the summertime.
Which is stupid because our biggest event is in January when the pass is closed.
Yeah. No, Cascade Days is still open. That's in August.
But our biggest event in this area is still the
The Eagle.
Eagle Festival
Tulip Festival.
in this area.
No, there
We
wasn't a
don't
Tula
deal with
Festival
those
this year.
downriver people.
They closed Tula Festival.
Oh, I understand that. I'm pretty sure they're going to close every other festival too.
Not true. You
But
can still go look at the Eagles.
I hate to say it, but all your festivals are going to be closed.
They
Social
are.
distancing.
Absolutely.
Actually, there is a festival here that is not closed.
Which one?
Crypt Amnesia is
Moron
holding a festival, metal festival, and it's all online, but it's all local Washington bands.
Oh, push it.
Friend,
Where do they find it?
fuck, I don't know, Facebook? Crypt Amnesia's website. If you go look at their website, their Facebook page, they have a whole bunch of stuff on it. They've been doing shows since this started.
Good.
And it's to benefit the local shops that can't hold these festivals anymore, because half of them will be closed by the end of this. They just can't afford the rent to stay open. I know Tony V's Garage in Marysville is a huge one. Or no, Everett, sorry.
Yeah.
And they've got a GoFundMe page for that one to keep them in business.
Okay.
Because right now they're not making any money. They're not dropping in very much money, but still dropping a little bit of money when you have making none does affect you. So
fusion centers. And
yes, it does, Izzy.
we will wrap up this hour with fusion centers. Again, like I said, there's no oversight. There's no government agency over the fusion centers. No guidelines or accountability, but there are 55 law enforcement agencies that use it. Seattle's got one.
But if you're just passing along information, do you actually need oversight?
So that depends on the individuals using it. Because if they have a biased idea, look at, let's say, Islamics, they can establish law or establish protocols in their fusion center to go after anyone that's Islamic. For example, if they don't have oversight, if they don't have anyone telling them,
bullshit.
huh? Say again.
They can't create laws.
Not laws, but they can go after. They can use that intelligence agency and say this person's bad. There's nobody overseeing this to say no, you can't do that.
Well, it's called the court system.
It is.
They eventually end up in the court system, and it gets thrown out.
Sometimes, but you've heard of oh God, where am I going with this? Have you ever heard of people disappearing?
Oh yeah.
Missing 411?
Huh?
Missing 411 or quit?
No.
Okay, whoa.
No.
Are we doing the round bow back to the FEMA camps here?
Are we going Gitmo?
I'm going Gitmo. I'm going.
Okay.
So what if you have a rogue law enforcement agency that wants to come in and take you because you're on their list, and you have no amendment rights? They're just going to come in and grab you up and take you to God knows where.
Okay.
It's happened before.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
Yeah,
It does.
it still happens.
It's not
That's
necessarily
where-
a law enforcement. I mean, you can have a group of people saying we don't like that guy, and they can disappear him. Any group of people.
Oh,
Straight up
absolutely.
mob.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
truth be told, we can do that.
Absolutely, but imagine this coming from a fusion center.
Yeah, but just calling it a fusion center doesn't make it any different than calling it the mob or a gang or anything else.
A gang of law
It's a
enforcement.
club.
I
It's a
hereby,
club. It's like a motorcycle club, okay?
I hereby enact
just
the
a
first
club,
meeting
man.
of the S4 Fusion Center.
Hey, whoa. I ain't going to any center that has fusion in the name of it, okay?
No, stay away from that.
All right, fine.
And look up Rex 84 under Reagan.
I just heard we could disappear people. I wanted to help.
So there's civil unrest centers run by the DOD. Look up Rex 84 under Reagan.
And there's centers run by Christian evangelical. Okay, so like
Now-
there's centers run by every group of people who has ever had a group. There's
we're
PTO
gonna-
centers.
We're going to carry this
Like-
over into the third hour, but have you heard of the Council of Governors?
The Council of Governors.
Yep.
So Rex 84 is a contingency plan drafted in part by U.S. Marine Colonel Oliver North, calling for the suspension of the Constitution and the detainment of citizens in the event of a national crisis.
Absolutely.
This was aimed at left-wing activists, not the libertarians and right-wingers generally associated with FEMA theories.
Oh, are you talking about the fact that they can call martial law and detain? This is what we're going in. Okay, gotcha.
Mhm.
Gotcha.
I told you we were going down a rabbit hole.
Hole of rabbits.
Does it mean there's an end to it? Probably not. So the Council of Governors is a part of the 10 sectors that were established by FEMA. So FEMA established 10 sectors in the United States. And they established the Council of Governors under Obama, January 11, 2010. So there's 9 state governors. If there's a declaration of emergency declared, the nine governors established, the 10th one, being from Puerto Rico, would step in. They would override the authority of all the state governors in their district.
Okay.
And that's where your FEMA camps come in. They take the control away from their state governors and they do what they want, basically. And that's all in part, under Rex 84. Now,
part of the whole thing about all these conspiracy theories like that is that the United States Army, the National Guard, the cops, the sheriff's departments, they're not going to start rounding people up and shooting them.
No.
It ain't going to happen.
I fully agree with you. That's why we're just talking about the rabbit hole tonight. Is it really going to happen? No.
That's the thing. Like, okay. That brings me back a little bit to FEMA. So, Rex 84. Friend. One of the claims of FEMA is that they are an executive arm of the coming police state and therefore will head up all operations. The presidential executive orders already listed on the Federal Register are also part of the legal framework for this operation. That's the claim being made by a lot of people who take this FEMA camp thing pretty seriously. When you actually look further into those presidential orders, in 1962, John F. Kennedy signed a series of executive orders that outlined the basic framework for agent responsibilities during a national emergency.
Yeah, look what happened in 1941.
Most of those have since been revoked or rolled into a single, more comprehensive executive order signed by Reagan. Safeguards were written into the current framework of responsibilities, declaring that any emergency preparation or action shall be consistent with the Constitution and laws of the United States. The problem is, when most of these guys go look into this stuff, they see that first one that Kennedy wrote, and they stop. They don't look at what was done afterwards.
No.
Because it doesn't support what they're trying to say. So, with that, like, if they're going to follow the constitutional laws of the United States, that's the thing. We have those laws in place for a reason. The Second Amendment is still there. And yes, everyone sits on that Second Amendment and just says, we have the right to bear arms.
They don't look beyond it.
But why? Why do we have that right? To defend the Constitution from anything foreign or domestic. FEMA would be domestic if it came to that point. You have the right to bear arms in that case.
Well, absolutely.
But the presidents that have enacted these orders have made it so that by law they have to follow the Constitution. They still have to follow the constitutional rights of Americans.
So, with that, has there been any more in Bellingham? Any more out of Whatcom County with trying to take guns?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
So, if you're listening and you're in Whatcom County and you had your guns taken away, we would like to know.
Yeah. Unless you're like a raving lunatic, then I understand. But, like if you went and robbed a convenience store, yeah, they probably took your gun. I'm surprised they didn't shoot you. I would have.
Oh, that's what kills me. All the ones that, oh my God, there's a pandemic, we got to go get a gun. And they had no training.
Yeah, like...
Then what good's that gun going to do?
On the other hand, you've got people saying, oh my God, there's a pandemic, let's let all the criminals out of prison.
Well, absolutely. But
then you as a law-abiding citizen can't buy a
lock
gun
up
to
the
protect
people that
yourself.
aren't social distancing.
But here's the thing, Joe. If you ain't never fired or used a gun before, what good's that pointy stick that shoots bullets going to do you?
They work as a pretty good doorstop, I'm just saying. Also, if you can't reach the toilet paper in the bathroom.
Well, you're talking about first-time buyers.
Yeah.
Hey now. Whoa.
No, you went out and had training. We taught you.
No, I understand that.
Yeah.
But, look.
I've got the training.
Just because you're a first-time buyer. Okay, and I will say there are some really smart people out there that are going to grab them and they're going to be like, hey, I got a gun. I'm awesome now. Okay? But
It's
there
just
are
like a first-time driver.
just as
Right.
many people out there that are fucking terrified of the damn thing and will sit there and look at every aspect of how to use one. They'll target practice. They'll do whatever they need to do to figure out how to use this. Or they'll go to classes, or they will get some online training, or they will know somebody that knows something about them and get just as much information.
Online training
on it.
is not the
Okay.
same as going out and shooting it.
No, it isn't.
Neither
but
is hunting compared to combat.
The video game?
No.
Oh, okay, combat, yeah.
I'm saying I am a fairly good hunter. I am fairly well shot as a hunter.
Mm-hmm.
And in a combat situation, I think I would eventually get it. But the first time I ever went hunting,
And a deer shot back at you?
I got buck fever.
Yeah.
I shook like a freaking rag doll. I honestly think, yes, I would eventually get it. But I can't guarantee I wouldn't get shot before I did. Because you know what? In that same situation, I've never done that. I would still shake like crazy.
Right.
These are guys that are going out and they're shooting at targets. They've never even shot an animal. To take any life is hard.
Right.
But a human life, I can't even imagine that feeling. It's gotta suck. There is no other way to put that.
If it's me or them, the answer is them.
Oh,
That's
Yeah,
simple.
no, absolutely. I get that.
I wouldn't
But
even hesitate.
No.
Friend, the problem is, half these guys would. Because that thought would eat them at them in the back of their head saying, that's another person.
Maybe.
Maybe.
It's part of natural selection.
Absolutely. And with that, we have to go to break. When we come back, we'll carry on this conversation.
Yeah.
You are listening to S4 on Spreaker.com.
host, Eric Cooper.
Welcome back to S4. It's been a lively night tonight, talking all things conspiracy and, well, conspiracy. And I think most of these conspiracies are unfounded, to be honest with you. I don't think we have to worry about FEMA camps. I've looked at these since the 1990s, and there's so much crap behind them. Folks, if you did your homework, if you did your research behind all these conspiracy theories, you would see that they're really not conspiracies at all. So, pointy sticks. Mm-hmm. Yeah. During the break, Joe was saying more people have been killed by pointy sticks than any other weapon.
I have to disagree.
Well, why? You're going to say rocks.
I am going to say rocks. Rocks have killed way more people than a pointy stick.
Nope.
Yep. Hey. Now, when they carved the arrowhead out of the rock and attached it to the stick. Now,
conspiracy theory.
That's still a pointy stick.
That is a pointy stick, but it's also a rock.
And you really want to argue about the basis of an arrow with me?
You wanna argue about landslides with me? Love ya.
Wow, that was harsh.
I'm sorry. That was my
So,
fault.
also during the break we were talking about Super Bowl. The Super Bowl gathered before this virus really...
February 2nd.
Yeah, and the virus was here.
And people gathered from all... across the country. They get just as many visitors from every state.
Right.
As the actual state it's being held in.
Do we think maybe that was the escalation of COVID? No?
It was that freaking choir in Mount Vernon.
The what?
The choir in Mount Vernon.
Oh, yeah, the choir in Mount Vernon.
Okay, here's the thing. If that was the escalation of it, 15 days later, we would have seen over half of that population go.
Not necessarily.
Get sick.
Not necessarily.
I'm a big fan.
They could have all been carriers.
They could have been.
Even if you're a carrier, you still point to some symptoms and less of symptoms.
Asymptomatic carriers.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
But the whole thing?
But who's to say that cold that went through right after that and everybody getting super sick
exactly.
and everything wasn't that...
That cold wasn't in February. It was in freaking November.
Some of it was in February. There were a shit ton of people getting sick in February as well.
Yeah, and Mardi Gras happened too.
Okay, and we'll put it this way. That choir practice that everybody keeps talking about, that happened March 4th. People are getting sick now from that.
Yeah, and March 4th...
people started getting sick the second weekend in March.
The thing is, that March 4th, we were supposed to be staying home at that point in time.
No. This was right before the state.
Was it right before?
Like 2 days before.
2 days before we had that whole no gatherings.
That's
why
why when you said kids have been out of school since February, I don't think so. I think it was like right around the first week in March.
And speaking of
technically,
which,
that still fell into that category too because there was only 60 people there. Once that went out in our state, anyways, it was a gathering of 100 or more. At that point, that point,
because that's when the Oregon Ghost Conference got canceled.
Exactly. Yep.
So, Tim says TWA Flight 600 did a missile butt it off Long Island 96.
It hit off of Long Island in 96.
Okay. That was a pointy stick.
Yes, it was.
Oh,
there you go.
Pointy sticks. See? Pointy sticks.
Atomic bomb was a rock. Ooh.
Absolutely not. That's still a missile.
So the
But it
Department
was dropped from a pointy stick.
It was. So the Department of Education of Washington State came out, I believe it was today or yesterday, and says the likelihood of schools starting back up for this school year is probably not going to happen. So we're still waiting. And, I think that's half of the damn problem is the waiting and the not knowing. Nobody knows what's going to happen tomorrow. Nobody knows what's going to happen next week or how bad this is going to get. And the kids are going, if the kids knew, hey, there's no more school until next September, maybe. But even...
I know exactly what's happening next week.
What?
The fucking Easter Bunny's still coming to my house.
Well, the Easter Bunny's still coming, yeah. I mean, as long as you don't get COVID.
Well, and it's still social distancing. He comes at night when everyone's asleep.
This is true.
Okay, unless it does another zoological jump, the Easter Bunny is fine.
Yeah, the Easter Bunny will be fine.
What?
COVID bunny.
It's only hitting tigers right now. He's fine. He's a rabbit.
Tigers and doggies and cats. Oh, wow.
So, yes, Easter will go on.
We're that close to Easter, and you're really going to say rabbit?
Yep.
No, it's wabbit.
Wabbit. Okay.
Wabbit.
Okay, wabbit. Easter wabbit.
Easter wabbit.
Easter wabbit's coming.
Peter Cotton's whale.
Oh, tonight's been interesting. Oh God. Better than Krampus. But, yeah.
Krampus.
But we have fun on S4. You all know that. But, it's been hard to do a show every week in isolation.
Wait, is he saying that the flight hit a missile?
Huh?
It hit a missile?
I don't know. Clarify, Tim.
If it hit a missile, that's the fault of the pilot.
Right?
You don't run into those things.
Absolutely.
I thought it was Flight 800.
A flock of geese.
We're waiting on Tim. Waiting on Tim to say something.
Flight 800, and it was hit by a missile.
Which one was...
Was that the Ukrainian plane?
No.
No?
What?
Okay.
No.
Are we at a point where everyone's lost in Lost?
Yeah. We're so far down the rabbit hole that we're getting stuck. But that's okay. It's fun being a rabbit hole sometimes.
FEMA Camp. Bring it back around. Walmart has FEMA Camp.
Lost?
Navy.
If we're in Lost, there's only one thing you have to remember. 4, 8, 15, 16, 23, and 42.
Okay, I'll get right on those.
I love the fact that it says
Those
42.
were the numbers in Lost.
Well,
Tim is saying it was 800.
and see, so here's the deal. If Joe wins the lotto, he's coming here to join the team. He's going to be our team geologist.
Dude, social distancing. He ain't coming here.
Oh, he'll buy Jamie's field.
Oh, okay.
That's social distancing.
We'll just stand out on our porches. Hey, what did you do today?
Hey, Joe, catch the pointy stick. Okay.
I think they call that a javelin.
I'm going not near anybody.
What?
I've been in my bunker since February. I'm not leaving.
Oh, I know. I hear you.
Oh.
You're going to be that guy from Blast to the Past.
Right? 20 years later, here comes Joe with a pointy stick. Whoa. What happened in California?
The stick gods got angry.
Navy was doing exercises in the area and shot it down. Oops.
Yeah, the Flight 800 that Tim's talking about, it left JFK and was flying out along Long Island, and people saw a missile go up to it. Bam! It went down. It was right near sunset. Hundreds and hundreds of people saw it, and the government came out and said, no, just the wing tanks, something sparked and it just blew up.
Huh.
Well, it was TWA.
Come on, you don't want to tell people, oops, I accidentally shot a missile at you.
We'll have to look up the documentary.
Yeah. Epics? Okay.
So, I'm going to be reaching out. If you're listening and you have a paranormal team, we want to have you on the show. So we're going to start, because I want to start getting paranormal teams. Only the ones that aren't investigating today. If you're taking your team out and you're investigating at someone's house...
I have seen a lot of investigators out there now, and it's mostly in the UK because I'm on a lot of their Facebook pages.
Right.
They're investigating their own homes. I saw one the other day that actually went back to old school investigating.
That's great training.
They flowered their stairs.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Right on. So, for listeners that don't know what that means, watch The Conjuring. I love The Conjuring. I'm not a fan of the Warrens, but on their defense, honestly, the Warrens were the first original paranormal investigators for today's era.
Okay, for the era, yeah.
So if you watch The Conjuring, you actually see old school techniques where they actually do flour the floor. So why would you flour the floor? Because you're looking for footprints from spirits. You're looking for physical evidence of spirit activity. They actually put bells on strings and put them in the doorway to see if a spirit goes through, is it going to ring the bell? They do old school techniques. So I think that's great. If they go back to old school techniques, that's more fun. To me, that's more fun. Because there's too much manipulation with digital technology. Tim says 5G, coronavirus, and chemtrails. Oh my God, that's a smorgasbord in itself. Yeah, that's a whole show. We've talked chemtrails before. I think a couple of years ago, but that gets boring after a while. It does. Everyone knows, even the people that don't know what chemtrails are taking a picture of, oh, look, the government's spraying us today. You see it on Facebook all the time.
I don't know. I think any show we do now can't be boring because you told me last week we're going to talk about FEMA camps. We spent about half an hour on FEMA camps. The rest of the time we kind of just went down that rabbit hole.
Oh, yeah. We always go down
even if we did a show on chemtrails.
I love the fact that you said, oh, yeah, after talking about the Kool-Aid.
We love going down rabbit holes. That's what everyone does.
I think we would end up down that rabbit hole again. And
of course.
It could be interesting.
Uh-huh. Rabbit holes are always full of fun.
Oh, wow.
I think I want to wait. Tim, I do want to talk 5G, but I want to give it a little while. Maybe a couple months. Let's see what happens.
And honestly, that takes so much. It's hard to find the real facts about 5G. It's hard to find what's real and what's not with 5G.
5G will start the zombie apocalypse.
It does, and we're ready for it. Oh my God, I'm ready for a zombie apocalypse. I've got the zombie apocalypse Bible.
Well, Kayla's going to start the zombie apocalypse in our family.
Oh, Jesus.
She is patient zero for us.
I'm patient zero for everything. Are you kidding me?
No, I want to be able to contact a few different sources, maybe Verizon themselves.
Right.
See what we can get from them. And I know it's not a relatable or a reliable source for the reason that they have to say whatever they can.
Well, they're gonna cover their ass.
Yeah, and that's the thing. But I still want to know what their exact denial is.
Let's have them on the show and put them to the
5G has high frequency radiation. That can't be good for anybody.
No.
And how much you want to bet they come out and they find that the 5G radiation
is
poisoning mimics the same thing that coronavirus is.
Oh, shit.
Right?
Yeah.
High fevers.
I think that's a whole nother 2 feet down the rabbit hole.
2 feet, try 200. We went up in China going down this rabbit hole. Huh.
It's only 700 watts.
What?
It's only 700 watts. Okay. So, if we're thinking about that, okay, and we're thinking about we went from 1 to 700, so that's a huge jump as far as that is concerned, but...
Okay, but when you say it's only 700 watts, touch that light, or
no.
light socket. It's only 110 amps.
Oh, Jesus.
Come on.
Yeah.
When you say those numbers...
Well, not to mention 5G would kill birds with no marks on them.
It has.
Mm-hmm. Maybe that's why we're getting dead birds up here in concrete. Because they've activated the 5G.
Well,
Oh.
they're activating each tower as they go, too, because I know the one in Day Creek is 5G activated already.
Is it?
Okay,
It's on the map.
I'm gonna throw this out here, guys. 700 watts, right? That's gonna cause in your body. It's gonna cause massive headaches. That's one thing. Okay. Now they've talked about, and yes, I'm gonna go on that rabbit hole that Joe was just talking about. So
It's the same rabbit hole.
they have talked about the fact that a lot of people that are getting coronavirus symptoms and everything state that they have an excruciating headache. That's one of the big things that comes with it is this excruciating headache. So that many watts running through your system from your portable phone, yeah, you're probably going to end up with an excruciating headache. Okay, but
No, you're not going to get it from your portable phone. You're going to get it from the towers.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's the difference between 5G and 4G. 4G radiates off your phone, 5G radiates off the tower.
So, what's the radius of the tower? Is what I want to know.
The same as the phone. It reaches your phone.
Actually,
it
they
reaches
have
you.
to put up more towers closer together for 5G to work over
Yeah.
an area.
and
but-
they're
and
like
they
those
have
a lot more of
smaller
them.
towers.
They're already, like half of them are already up. Because you can buy a 5G capable phone now.
So, are these the towers that look like trees? They're kind of
They disguise them. They
Some
look
of
like
them.
all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
But they're little. They're littler.
but-
they're way
Have
smaller.
you seen? So, have you seen that tower on Highway 20 between Burlington and City?
Oh,
Limits?
that they made into a fake tree?
Yeah. What is
Yeah.
that? Is that
That's a. Well, I don't know if that one's 5G, but it is a cell phone.
It's a cell phone tower.
But like, okay, the one at Day Creek.
Uh-huh.
You know which one I'm talking about?
Yep.
You know it had the 6 panels on it that just look like solar panels, pretty much, but they're painted white. Okay, so at the top of that, they have now added a globe. That globe is their 5G addition to that tower.
Ooh.
That's what makes your 5G phone work.
Right.
That globe is where you get your radiation. That's what's emanating the
Oh,
radiation.
that's healthy, huh?
The cow underneath it looks like he's doing okay.
Huh?
There's that cow underneath it, that one single cow that sits on the bale of hay.
The one
Yeah.
with 3 heads?
Well,
No, the one that just chills on the bale of hay. I think his name is Bessie.
The dead cow.
yeah, now he's dead, but
That's
he's
the
still good.
That's a guinea pig.
No, the American people are their guinea pig.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Medium rare.
The gnomes.
And
So I wonder if it's 5G that's making the fairies go crazy.
I'm glad we're a paranormal show, so we understand.
Okay, the Fae.
There we go.
Okay,
Fae.
I'm like, wait a minute. There's a bunch of
I just
boats
dropped
going
my
crazy.
cigarette when you said that.
Flame on. Oh, no.
So could it be that it's 5G? So if 5G is not causing the coronavirus, is 5G making the planet recoil and kick back?
Well,
Potentially.
okay,
Look,
so
here's
Italy doesn't
the
fit
deal.
into that.
Here's the deal on the 5G. It's going to destroy our civilization, possibly. And our 5G for today's civilization will be the exact same thing as the lead-lined drinking pipes for drinking water that the Romans had. Everyone thought it was a great idea until they all went insane.
Right.
And it destroyed that civilization, so here we go again.
So
yeah.
Italy doesn't fit in with that, where Mother Nature would be kicking back, unless it just is a natural progression of it.
I don't think Mother Nature gives a rat's ass about us.
China was one of the first nations that actually started utilizing 5G. Italy
5G
is
started
not.
in Wuhan.
Yeah, but Italy is not. Italy doesn't have towers yet. They haven't allowed that to expand.
But Italy has a huge Chinese population, and they all went back to China for the Chinese New Year. And then they came back to Italy.
Yeah, that's true.
Ding, ding, ding.
So, see, even... Okay, so if it was created and it's partly, like...
Hold on, we're going to give a shout out to Kevin. I know Kevin's listening because he just sent me a video that I can't watch for the rabbit hole.
Kevin Riley?
Yeah.
Hi, Kevin.
How you doing, Kevin? We know you're listening. We know you sent the video, and I can't watch it right now because we're live. But Oh, it's always awesome when we have local listeners listening. Anyway, 5G.
I'm waiting for 6G.
No, I don't think we're going to be around for 6G.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I do.
Okay, no, we'll be around for 6G. Yeah, but
Because if they do
6G
figure
might be
out that
coming
this
back to
is
the point
5G
he
is
sticks and
causing
rocks.
all this, it will be outlawed and they will immediately go to 6G. And you know what 6G will be, right?
After the zombie apocalypse starts.
It'll be 4G LTE just with a different color. That's all 6G will be. There will be no improvements. It'll actually be a deprovement from 5G, but it'll be safe. That's the improvement.
Okay.
We'll be around for 6G, but we'll all have 3 eyes and...
It's impossible to have a zombie apocalypse. No matter how much you want it, Eric, zombies are not going to rule the earth. They're not going to wander around.
No, they aren't. No,
Well, they're not going to rule the earth, but they're going to mess it up.
No, there's no such thing as zombies.
Not yet. You haven't turned yet.
Oh my god. Okay. And if there were such thing as zombies, they're not going to be the Walking Dead. They are going to be a mixture between probably this coronavirus and freaking rabies that went back from a freaking tiger and came back into our system. Okay?
Hey, there was a
Here
tiger
first,
in The
folks.
Walking Dead.
From patient 0. This is how she's getting it.
No, to be perfectly honest, the only way that the zombie virus is gonna come out and like cause anywhere near zombie-like issues is if mad cow disease or rabies, one of these type of diseases, got mixed with something that made it a spreadable virus, honestly. That made it more of a contact virus than rabies. Hey, that made it aerosolized, airborne, any of that kind of stuff, then yes.
It's already airborne.
I think so too.
This thing is spreading like
coronavirus?
wildfire because everybody's touching everything.
Coronavirus is definitely airborne. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But what I'm talking about is it's going to have to mix with something like mad cow or rabies or
5G.
something of that nature
Mad cow makes more sense.
in order for it to cause a zombie-like person.
5G will mutate the coronavirus.
Mad cow makes more sense because you listen to all the zombies on the TV shows. They're all sitting there trying to say,
Oh, yeah. Definitely reach out to Verizon. See, I want to see what they have to say, too.
and T-Mobile.
Uh-huh.
I'll try both of them. So just a question.
Alzheimer's.
When the zombie apocalypse does start to happen, Kayla,
Yeah, what's up?
what would you prefer your zombie followers to call you? The Queen Mother?
You can just call me Grandma.
Okay.
Because that's probably all
called
I'm going to be
Alpha.
able to say.
Wow, that hole. Yeah. Oh, so how many pointy sticks do you have ready for the zombie apocalypse, Joe?
I'm not going to say because I don't want the government to know.
Okay.
Is your okay? I could totally see him just way out in the woods somewhere in this bunker, and it's got those old style wooden spicks sticking up everywhere, with like a little squirrel head on it. Be like, don't mess with
Did
me.
you remove my place?
Hey, researcher, I know where you at. No.
Oh, so how big is your mountain range?
They call it the Sierra. Okay.
So how far away from Bohemian Grove are you?
Stop trying to give his location away. He doesn't want nobody knowing. Jeez.
See, they're always trying to figure out where I'm at.
No, are you familiar with Bohemian Grove?
Bohemian Grove is over on the coast. That's in the coastal range. I'm up in the Sierras.
Okay.
With his tobacco sticks pointed like.
But I do have owls, so...
Are you near, like, Shasta?
I'm near Lake Tahoe.
Tahoe.
No, because, like, Shasta's the only mountain I saw in California, honestly.
Tahoe's a great place, but
'Cause,
Shasta is amazing.
Yeah, like, when we went there, It was amazing for me because we came out of Oregon and it was a huge mountain pass and it was dreary, it was horrible, and it
Siskiyou Pass is always like that.
It turned into home for me because the air got immediately dry.
Because you're an alien.
And we were at the viewing point for Shasta, and Kayla's nose almost started to bleed because of how dry the air was. But my nose cleared up. My nose cleared up because that's what John Heller's like, is a very dry area. Mm-hmm. And I loved it.
He did. He's getting moved to California.
And then they had a liquor barn there that I really loved.
Oh, Jesus. I couldn't do California. I gotta be honest.
I was scared of going through that border patrol thing for fruit, though. I was like, what if one of the kids stuffed a banana underneath the seat? I'm going to be in trouble.
They don't search. They just ask.
They just ask, yeah. And if you do say yes,
never
then all
having
you have
going
to do
through
is
there,
dump them out.
that was weird.
Right. Yeah, I've never seen a state border like that.
No.
We don't want your damn fruit.
Are you saying you have enough there of your own?
Hey, California can feed the world.
I can see that.
Not if you don't tell us where you are.
Okay, you know, my one biggest memory of California actually ended up giving me, like, this phobia that is ridiculous for the rest of my life after I went there. We were on, oh, man, where was that? It's over by Yosemite. Down by Sonora, there's a little town called Jamestown. And that's where my family's from. And I went down there to hang out with my grandparents. And we all went to this baseball field. And this moth, came out of nowhere and landed right on top of my head and in my face. And this moth was like the size of a dinner plate.
Oh, we got giant ones, yeah.
Yeah, and at that time I was like 10, 11.
Mothra.
Something like that. I have been terrified of freaking moths ever since then. Ever since then. A moth comes towards me and I'm like, eee!
You didn't eat it, did you?
I had some of it in my mouth. It landed right on my face.
Oh, wait, that's
it was
a bat.
disgusting.
You don't eat bats.
But no, I tell you, those moths are huge. I don't even know how a moth gets that big. This thing was
Maybe
huge.
it was a fairy.
Ugh.
It could have been.
Ugh.
A fairy.
A fairy?
Yep.
Yeah, dinner plate fairy just came and landed on my face. I was like, hey, Kayla, what's up?
That ain't all you did on your face.
They do that.
So
what?
What's the conclusion? Are FEMA camps real?
No.
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 Not a chance.
No.
Are they a possibility for the upcoming
No.
No.
events?
They have
No.
FEMA condos.
So let's talk about martial law.
FEMA condos?
It's not going to be FEMA
FEMA
that kills
condos.
us off, man.
So, you know...
You only get to stay in them once a week every year. 1 week a year.
Timeshare FEMA camps?
Timeshare FEMA camps.
No,
Hot tubs,
you know,
everything.
and that's my other part is UN doesn't come here. The UN's not going to come here to take over the United States.
Nope.
No, that's China's job.
Right. And they've already done that quite successfully.
Oh, yeah.
The Queen is not sitting there thinking, now's the time.
No, the Queen
No.
the Queen is bunkered up
All those
somewhere
big
because...
tubs, big tubs that you thought were for burials at the FEMA camps, those are just hot tubs.
FEMA hot tubs?
Yeah, FEMA hot tubs.
Oh, no,
I'd be
no,
okay
no.
with that. If FEMA provided a hot tub for every family in America, I'm good with that.
Right?
Oh, Jesus.
What?
If they're anything...
Jesus ain't bringing you a hot tub.
Okay, so what if all of these little tubs are like cryo chambers? They're just gonna freeze us all until this shit blows over.
I'm okay with that.
It didn't work for Disney. It's not going to work for us.
Ah, come on now. It worked for Futurama, and you know that it was made by the same guys that made The Simpsons, so you know it has to be freaking true, right?
Well, they're all part of the Bilderbergs.
There we go. There we go.
So
Bring it back around.
And so here's my thing. you go down the rabbit hole of thinking, the coronavirus is created to cause New World Order. That's what a lot of them are going down that rabbit hole for.
Yeah.
Could this be a reset? It could be. But by who? So Bilderberg I see as the little puppets.
Rothschild.
I think there's a much larger, not larger than the Bilderbergs, but a smaller council of global leaders that manipulate the Bilderbergs.
In my opinion,
You have to ask yourself, who haven't you heard from in this crisis? And it's Bill Gates.
Bill Gates stepped down.
Dude, we've heard from Bill Gates.
He's still got tons of money.
No, but he has made a few.
Bill
He's
Bill
done
Gates
quite a
has
few interviews
sat up
and
there and
stuff.
done a shit ton of interviews.
Wasn't he involved in a practice run for a major global pandemic back in, I think, February or December?
He also did a TED Talk on it in 2015.
No, I think they just did this a couple months ago.
No, he did another one, but his original TED Talk on pandemics and how the world would survive a pandemic was in 2015.
But here's the thing. The Bill Gates Foundation has always been a very big advocate for disaster preparedness.
Yeah, but he was just like Steve Jobs, too. He was a germaphobe as well.
Right.
Most computer science nerds are. Like, the actual guys who actually invent the computer crap, a lot of them are germaphobes.
Mm-hmm. But Bill Gates has been with the Gates Foundation, they contribute millions, if not billions, to different charities, different disaster preparedness organizations.
Lots of scholarships.
So if you want to take them as manipulating, I don't think so.
I wouldn't say it was
I
Gates.
think he's reacting.
Isn't the theory that the Antichrist will be a really nice guy
Yeah, absolutely.
Trump.
in the beginning?
Yeah, that everybody is going to listen
Trump
to him.
cannot
blah,
be
blah,
the
blah.
Everyone's going to
Yes.
love him.
He is not nice enough to be the Antichrist.
That's what I said. Oprah, come on.
Ooh, you get a car, and you get a car, and you get a car.
Hey, you've only got 20 minutes left on this thing, and you wanted to go down the rabbit hole. So what about the Georgia Guidestones?
Ooh.
Saying you got to drop the world population down to 500 million.
Yeah, and this could potentially have the means to do it.
Bingo.
But who created the Georgia Guidestones?
Organized religion.
Bill Gates.
Did he?
No. They were done years and years ago. They were put up by an unknown group, and it went through a shell company, and the only guy that actually knew who it was the lawyer, and he's now deceased. But
Right.
there's a fund that, in perpetuity, forever, that they'll be kept that way. They'll never be sold. The land will be, the weeds will be cut down and repairs made and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody did it.
And isn't that the one that was in many different languages? Some that weren't even
Yeah,
decipherable?
Yeah, they're like 12 different languages on the stones, and they all
Right.
say the same thing. It's all the same message, but it's in a whole bunch of different languages.
Well, and that's the thing I look at. We're getting to the point where if things don't change, the economy is going to collapse. And if all these different global economies collapse, it sets the stage for a one world government. It sets the stage for a one world economy. I don't think religion.
Or it'll all break down into a bunch of little kingdoms.
That's true too. So, what's your opinion?
Me?
Yeah.
On the economy, I think if it keeps going, the economy is going to take a big hit. Things aren't going to be like they used to be,
Oh, they're
But
already
things will
not
get
going to
back.
be like they used to be, though.
but things will get back. Things will get better. It goes up and down and up and down. Look at history. I mean, if you go back thousands of years, things were good and then things were bad, and things were good and things were bad.
Right.
It's
If-
just the nature of things,
Yeah,
It's
but
not
if
going
you
to stay
also-
good constantly.
if you also look back at history, every empire has fallen. Every single one of them that got to a specific point of technology and a specific point of understanding have all crumbled and restarted.
So here's one for you. All the other nations are in the focus and all these numbers. Where's Russia? Has Russia been hit?
Yes.
Russia only has 2 cases.
2.
Yeah, and one of them's Putin. No,
China doesn't have any more. They don't have it anymore.
Lenin in his
If you
little
believe him.
glass coffin, he's got it too.
But
yeah, okay. Just like if you're going to sit there and believe that, then North Korea hasn't had a single case, guys. Not a single one.
Where? Who?
North Korea.
North Korea. Not a single case in North Korea.
Well, that makes sense.
The virus showed up, and Kim ate
all
it.
in prison camps.
Right?
FEMA camp.
So you're not going to get any numbers out of North Korea. Just like I don't think you're going to get any real numbers out of Russia. For all we know, there's 50,000 dead in Russia, and we would never know.
Okay, the eastern side of Russia probably has nothing. Nothing survives in Siberia, not even the cold.
Right.
Look, every single nation is so worried about what every other nation knows about their secrets and knows about this or that, or, oh God, we can't let them know this, we can't let them know that. That the only way that you're going to get through a global pandemic is if you work together as a global front.
That's never going to happen.
Which is not going to happen.
Well, I can't say never.
Okay,
right.
because
it's going to take
too many
something
people,
a lot worse than this.
Too many people are sitting here and worried about what their state secrets, their country's secrets, their world secrets, their trade, their gas, their oil, their whatever. That nobody is actually looking at the globe like as a whole. Hey, maybe we should work together and figure this out.
They never will.
The guys in the ISS are probably looking at the globe right now.
The guys in the IRS are screwed because they're not getting their food.
Well, no, Russia can still send them stuff because they've only had 2 cases.
Yeah, 2 cases of vodka today.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why they're not getting it.
Good old top ramen. Cup of noodles.
Well, that would be so hard to eat in space.
Freaking cup of noodle in space? Jesus.
They got droplets of water that'll go in there. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
The people on the space station can survive by eating the bacteria that's growing on the outside of the station.
Ooh, alien poop.
Hey, there's stuff growing. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, and not all of it's from Earth.
Nope.
I remember that.
And Nikki says, imagine if governments did come together for one purpose, how many people across the globe are screwed?
Just as many as there is right now. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's the sad part, is that just as many people are screwed from them not coming together as there would be from them coming together. It's just a different demographic of people that are screwed right now.
It's always going to be the rich with the rich and the poor with the poor.
Which is why communism doesn't work.
Maybe not. You never know. Like, that's the thing. We can't say that.
Well, once the
It might not
dollar...
be.
Okay, if it ever got to the point where the dollar didn't mean shit, where there was nothing that this meant. Okay, you have $1,000, you have $0. You're on an even playing field because there is no money no more. There is no dollar. Okay? When it came to that point...
Yeah.
There would still be people that were in charge. There would still be people that were more powerful. Mm-hmm. And we would still have the same issues that we're having. And the problem that I see with the coronavirus is it has created a whole new subset of people. It has created a whole new group of people that are better, or that are worse, or that are whatever. And it's called essential employees. Mm-hmm. Okay?
No, it's not.
What?
In my book, that's not what they're called. They are expendable employees.
They're all expendable.
That's the problem.
No, but this is what I'm saying. It has created a whole new subgroup of people that believe that they are better because they are essential.
Here's the problem.
Okay?
I think our leaders need to understand they are also expendable.
Yeah.
Our governments need to understand they're just as expendable as the lowest denominator.
Nobody is ever going to believe that they are not better in some way, shape, or form than somebody else. This is
And that's
never
true.
gonna
Like
happen.
right now, you're seeing the essential employees are believing that they're better, but at the same time, it's not just the essential employees because there's two subcategories of that. Because the ones without college degrees that are still running a lot of the infrastructure in different parts of the
Right.
thing,
Absolutely.
they are saying they are better, and it'll be funny when all these people with college degrees come back to work and we didn't miss you. Well, here's the thing. Without the doctors,
Speaking of that,
who went
why
to
are we
school
still
for
paying
8
the
years.
people in Congress?
Huh?
Speaking of that, why are we still paying the people in Congress? They're not doing anything.
Well, they don't get a stimulus check.
Well, no, they got
No, but they got a raise.
$25,000 raise.
They got a raise. It was in that $2 trillion package. They got a raise.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
A raise for what? They didn't. They haven't done a damn thing but sit like
Exactly.
toddlers in a daycare. That's all they've done.
That's
Both
what
sides.
That's what I'm
Daycares are
saying is
closed.
that everybody is always going to believe they're better than somebody else because of whatever. Whatever you believe makes you better than this person or
That's
that
why
person
I'm
or
saying
whatever.
we can't actually say that, but like I said, it needs to be something a lot worse than this to make it to the point where we are one global.
Where people start thinking of us as a human race instead of a subculture of human races.
Yeah, right now that's
We're
just a
not
thought
going to
form.
all start thinking that we're all part of the same human race until another race shows up from somewhere else.
That's what I said. It's going to have to be. Who said that? It was Reagan. Wasn't it Reagan?
I think,
Reagan
and that's
said it.
absolutely why
Yeah.
Reagan is my favorite president. To be completely honest with you, Reagan is the first one to try to actually come out, besides Truman and the whole
Yeah.
contract. But, you know, you got too many variables in there that it didn't really happen, whatever, yada, 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 there's no proof of it. But Reagan's the first one that actually came out on camera to the UN and stated, until someone comes from outside the solar system and you'll see the unification of all countries. And he's absolutely right. And you're absolutely right, Joe. So with that, we're down to the
I'm always
last 10
right.
minutes. We're down to the last 10 minutes of this show. What?
I want to throw a few PSAs out there.
Uh-huh.
So, for all of our listeners, in this time with all of us social distancing, some people are not. And a lot of them are. We've noticed a big uptake in how many people are losing stuff out of their homes and out of their garages. Please lock up your stuff. Please remember to keep everything locked and make sure people aren't going through your stuff.
Stay vigilant. Watch your neighbors.
Yes.
Watch your neighbors' houses. If you see something out of place, call it in.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and I have some things to address when I get off the show because I'm getting a lot of questions from the community outside the show. So there's some things within law enforcement locally that they aren't handling property crimes because, well, they're not taking people to jail because of coronavirus. And that leads to vigilante justice. Is that right? No, but handle it.
That's all you got.
And by saying handle it doesn't mean grab your gun and go out and shoot the perpetrator. I don't have a good clear answer for you. I just don't. I know in my particular situation, I would handle it. That's why I'm up till 2-3 o'clock in the morning. I keep an eye on my property.
I will say most of them can be scared off just with you running out and saying, "Hey!"
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
That's not always going to be the case.
No. So just watch out for your neighbors. That's my point.
From a distance.
Be vigilant.
I have a question.
Huh?
What if we don't have any neighbors?
Then you're good.
Hey,
What? Keep
you
an
do.
eye. Keep an eye on your bunker.
keep an eye on the squirrels.
Got it.
Absolutely. And please, folks, stay home. Whether you like it, whether you think this is the flu, whether you think car accidents happen on a larger scale than people dying, you're wrong. In the last 3 months, we've lost more people than the flu. And when you're looking at numbers, I'm sorry, but the flu, those numbers are calculated on the 5 to a 6 month scale, not on the last 2 to 3 months. So, yeah, no, you're dealing with a real pandemic. You are, stay home. Just stay home.
It's going to get worse before it's going to get better.
Absolutely.
People have to be prepared for it.
And the governor of Georgia, shame on you. Lock your beaches up. Don't open them. You're a part of the damn problem. And you're supposed to be a government leader. Shame on you. Anyway.
I will say, for anyone that's listening, especially in the United States, if you have a trailer in your yard just sitting there, there are a lot of essential employees of healthcare, which to me, those guys are essential. We need them. We need them to keep working. Mm-hmm. With that, if you have a trailer that they might be able to borrow for a few weeks, whether it stays on your property or whether it goes to theirs, a lot of these people can't walk into their own homes. They can't endanger their own family while still going to work. So a lot of them are living in tents in their backyard, in garages. If we could give tent trailers to everyone, not give, but lend trailers to everyone that's doing that, that would be awesome. Reach out to your local hospital, see if anyone needs anything. As most of you know, in Washington, we've got, anytime you go out, wear a mask. You don't need the N95 masks. All you need is a basic face covering made from home.
Yeah, and we have folks up here that are actually making masks.
Yep. But leave the actual masks for the employees in the healthcare system that are trying to keep your family members safe.
I gotta say, for our local listeners that are in the community group, I'm proud of most of you, because most of you are actually abiding by what you're supposed to be doing. I know Red Apple is doing curbside service now. You've got Shop and Save. We've got plenty of resources up here to keep you from having to go downriver.
The other thing I will ask, please, if you do plan on wearing gloves or masks or anything to the stores, if you are going to leave and you are planning on just dropping those on the ground or whatever, there's garbage cans. Place them in a garbage can.
I saw that crap.
Now, next week's show is Easter Sunday.
It is. Let's talk about the Easter Bunny.
I think we should. And for all those listening with kids, I know it's a hard time. I know there's a lot going on. Easter's about a lot of things. To your kids, everyone knows what it's about. That bunny still needs to show up. Whether it's one piece of chocolate or even just a snack that you made yourself. Put something out, please.
And Joe, that means put out an Easter egg for your squirrels.
Oh, no, not an Easter egg.
Will.
Not an egg. Don't do an egg. Especially not a chocolate one.
Oh, yeah.
That hurts squirrels, too.
Yeah. Nuts.
Yeah.
There you go. Put nuts out for the squirrel.
Not yours.
I'm training all the critters in the art of pointy stick.
Excellent.
Excellent.
I'm building a critter army.
There you go. Toothpicks. Toothpicks would be great for squirrels.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for us to go. Eric.
So, we'll see you next week, Easter Sunday. Make sure the Easter Bunny shows up. And keep your eyes to the skies.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us tonight on S4, the official voice of Forest Moon Paranormal. You can contact S4 through our website at www.s-4radio.com or on Facebook. Make sure you give us a like on our page and join the Forest Moon Paranormal group. If you are interested in advertising, take a look at our packages and contact Cole or Eric at 1-360-999-2830. Again, thank you. And remember, keep your eyes to the sky.